Dr. Thuppil Venkatesh is a name synonymous with excellence in quality diagnostics, high altitude medicine, and lead free healthcare. A pioneer in tackling lead poisoning in India, he has worked extensively to uncover the dangers of lead exposure.
You are known as the lead man of India.
Recognized as the Lead Man of India by Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, today, he serves as the CEO and Director of the Foundation of Quality India and the National Referral Center for Lead Projects, setting global benchmarks in toxicology and diagnostics. Their journey to Bolivia is for the 9th Chronic Hypoxia Symposium. Day 1 starts with Dr. Sharan Srinivasan welcoming Dr. Thuppil Venkatesh at the airport, setting the stage for deep discussions on high altitude medicine. Their journey leads them to meet Dr. Gustavo Zubaida Calleja, a renowned expert in hypoxia, the son of Nobel-nominated Dr. Gustavo Zubaida Castillo. The day also brings an encounter with Freddie Mamani's architectural marvels, his vibrant neo-Andean designs redefining La Paz's skyline. As the sun sets, they reach a high-altitude viewpoint, taking in the breathtaking expanse of the Andean city. Day 2 marks the beginning of the Chronic Hypoxia Symposium. Dr. Thuppil Venkatesh, as president of the International Society of Chronic Hypoxia, delivers the opening words. His session on the benefits of pranayama in hypoxic conditions is followed by a demonstration of the same by Dr. Pratibha Sharan. The day concludes with an in-depth session on mitochondrial adaptation at high altitude, chaired by Dr. Sharan Srinivasan. Day 3 takes the conference beyond walls, into the landscapes that define hypoxia. The journey begins with a ride on Teleferico Blanco, the iconic cable car system of La Paz, where Dr. Sharan Srinivasan interviews 4 leading experts: Dr. Thuppil Venkatesh, Dr. Gustavo Zubaida Calleja, Dr. Akbar Hussain, and Dr. Christian Reis. Suspended above the city, their conversations explore hypoxia's effects on human health and potential medical advancements. From there, a bus ride takes the group towards Lake Titicaca, the highest navigable lake in the world. They cross its vast waters by boat and are welcomed by Commander William Freddy, setting the stage for discussions on hyperbaric oxygen therapy, HBOT, a technology that utilizes high-pressure oxygen to aid in recovery and treatment, especially in extreme environments. On day 4, Rebooting the Brain, a book written by Dr. Sharan Srinivasan and co-authored by Dr. Pratibha Sharan, is distributed to dignitaries. Dr. Sharan's talk on functional neurosciences that delves into the synergy between neuromodulation and neurorehabilitation is followed by Dr. Jan Marino Ramirez's presentation on the hypoxic response of cardiorespiratory network, where he references Dr. Pratibha Sharan's pranayama insights from day 2. Also interviewed Lucrecia Gustavo Zubaida. Their journey to Caraíco took them through breathtaking views of the Amazon rainforest. The conference concluded with a warm and lively lunch, bringing the entire group together. On the final day, they arrive at the Oruro Festival, a UNESCO-recognized cultural heritage blending music, dance, and tradition. One of the most significant battles of Dr. Thuppil Venkatesh was against lead contamination in food, a crisis that shook India. In 2015, India faced a nationwide controversy when high levels of lead were detected in Maggie instant noodles. particularly in the tastemaker. Their revelation triggered an urgent investigation, and Dr. Thuppil Venkatesh played a crucial role in analyzing samples and advocating for stricter food safety regulations. His research highlighted the dangers of prolonged lead exposure, especially in children, leading to a temporary ban on Maggie and a re evaluation of food safety standards in the country. His work underscored the importance of rigorous testing and accountability in consumer health.
ज्ञानानन्दमयं देवं निर्मलस्फटिकाकृतिम् आधारं सर्वविद्यानां हयग्रीवम् उपास्महे आधारं सर्वविद्यानां हयग्रीव उपास्महे हयग्रीव उपास्महे.
Rebooting the brain, powered by PRS Neurosciences. Namaste everyone. Om Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. This shloka has been a main driver for me for more than 2 decades, for who I am, what I stand for, what I do, as the shloka says, from darkness to light, from ignorance to enlightenment, and from death to immortality. You can use this in any which way, in any aspect of your life, and see how it helps you to transform and become a better human being. Hi everybody, my name is Dr. Sharan Srinivasan and I'm a functional neurosurgeon from Bengaluru, India. Welcome to our podcast, Rebooting the Brain. Before I go to the extraordinary guest that we have today, I want to do the usual housekeeping stuff. Number one, please subscribe to our channel. Please press the like button of this video. Please press the bell icon, and also obviously share the videos as much as possible, because you don't know who will get inspired or who may benefit from what we are trying to do. So as always, there's enough information available online today, but what is lacking is inspiration. So today we have one such extraordinary gentleman with us, and he's a man who has achieved so much in so many spheres. I always ask him, are you manufacturing time? That's what it is. Maybe he's printing it somewhere extra to know what is going on. We'll check how he's able to do all that he does. So, ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome Professor Dr. Thuppil Venkatesh. Sir, welcome to our show.
I am honored.
Sir, let me tell our viewers a little bit of your achievements. He is a professor emeritus at the St. John's Medical College. He was the head of the Department of Biochemistry there earlier. He is CEO and the director of the Foundation of the Quality of India, and he is the current national chairman for the Indian Society for Lead Awareness and Research. He is also the chairman of the International Council of Chronic Hypoxia. Sir, this video started with this clip of Maggie noodles and lead inside that. And we also know, or I want the world audience to know, that you are known as the lead man of India. So, what has a doctor, a biochemical person, got to do with lead? Can you tell our audience where this story started and how it went?
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Sharan. As a professor of biochemistry, as a teacher of biochemistry, I knew very little about lead. what I knew, lead is toxic. It has no biological function. That much I knew.
Okay.
And I also knew, as a biochemist, lead interferes with certain enzymes, inhibits them in the process of hemoglobin production.
Okay.
I knew lead causes anemia. This is what we used to teach, and also we used to tell them. I did not know much about neurology or neurological changes. I used to tell them lead is affecting neurological system. Beyond that, I did not know anything. It all happened one day when a great man, the chief of our former naval chief of, Dr. Dawson.
Admiral Dawson.
Admiral Dawson.
Admiral Dawson, I remember.
He had retired. He was a High Commissioner in New Zealand, came back. He called me one day. Professor, are you having any time this evening to come and join me? I said, who is speaking? He said, I'm Admiral Dawson. Then I got a shiver in my spine. He was a bachelor boy, very short-tempered. I don't know why he called me. I said, yes, I'm free. I can come. Where should I come? I did not know. Come home, he said. Those days, Google Map, nothing was there. He gave me the address. I asked him.
This was in Bangalore.
Bangalore. What is the occasion? He said, I'm inviting a good friend of mine, one major, Abraham George. I thought some foreigner, American. I said, who is this Abraham George? He's an Indian, Keralite. He worked in Indian army and he had to take voluntary retirement because he had hearing problem. He is coming, joining us. He wants to meet you. I said, I don't know him. How he wants to, how does he know about me? No. He wants to meet one professor of biochemistry.
Okay.
I thought of you because he was on St. John's board.
Okay. Oh, that's the connection.
Dawson. Then that evening I went. Then I wished him, very young, very handsome fellow. And he had come from US. He said, Professor, do you have any facilities to measure blood lead level?
Blood lead levels.
Blood lead level? I said, no, I only read in the textbooks, but I don't have any facility. I asked him why. He said, I was asked to take voluntary retirement from Indian Army because I had hearing problem. I heard that lead causes hearing disability.
Oh.
First, I was talking about neurological disability, hematological disability, and he is talking about
Hearing.
I said, it's something news. I must look into go to the library, look into this. He said, Professor, can you do the blood lead level of some people as a project? I said, if I get a project, I don't have facilities. I need facilities. He said, I will give you. This how it started. Admiral Dawson was made the chairman.
Okay.
Abraham George was the sponsor. I was the director of the project Lead Free.
Oh.
It was in the year 1996, April.
1996.
Within 2 weeks, I got all the equipment.
Fantastic.
But I did not consult St. John's whether I can take it up. But St. John's very broad-minded, I tell you. They said, Sir, Professor, whatever you want, you do in the interest of public. Then we had a project to screen about 23,000 people all over India in many metros.
Yes, random people.
Random selection. Okay. And it took about 3 years. By November 1999, data was ready. We had not disclosed data to anybody. We had lead analyzer and we measured. It was very expensive per test. First we measured zinc protoporphyrin. And then it was high. Then we went into lead. We measured the blood lead level. I tell you, I was shocked. When we did this analysis, 53.5% of children below 12 years in India, in 7 metros, had their blood lead level above 10 microgram per deciliter.
My goodness.
And international data said their IQ is already reduced by 6 to 8 units. I tell you, 53% of Indian population.
50%.
Children, what will happen when they become human productivity if IQ is reduced? To do 4 hours work, they will take 6 hours.
Correct.
Then that is the time when we went to a great economist. Abraham George was also an economist. He consulted. Then we had an international conference in Hotel Ashoka. Then we came to know that if this situation continues, by 2020, when they become human productivity, we will be having annual economic damage of over 600,000 crores. Budget of 2 Jharkhand state today. What to do? What is the source? We all knew India was still buying tetraethyl lead, using tetraethyl lead as an anti-knock in the production of petrol. That was the source of lead in the air, because there are three routes to all of us. One is inhalation, that is halides. Another is ingestion through intestine, stomach. Another is absorption through this one. Then we thought we have hit the nail on the head. Then it's the World Bank which gave a letter. If developing countries do not introduce unleaded petrol by 2003, no more World Bank loan.
Oh.
Immediately government of India, were very alert, and March 2000, we did not wait till 2003. March 2000, all over the country, in all petrol bunk, we saw the board, unleaded petrol sold here, unleaded petrol.
I remember that. I
tell you.
I never knew
that
why.
was the joy. That is the time Dr. Abdul Kalam, I met him. He first, said, lead man of India.
Oh, he's the one who
He is the one.
Namakarna, who gave you the Namakarna.
I said, you are a great scientist, missile man. There is a diamond lady there, gold man. Somebody has to be led. I don't mind. This is how the whole story started. And
Interesting.
lead is number one, even today, global environmental poison.
Oh, globally, sir.
Globally.
But why are we not able to reduce the risk of lead in?
Where is the priority? Parents
Mm.
have two children.
Uh.
Elder fellow is intelligent, very active, doing very well in the school. The second child, which was born somewhere, which is less than 12 years as on 2000 March, that child was exposed to lead and the IQ has come down, cognitive functions are disturbed. Child is not doing well in the school. Parents said, this is what God has given. See, we all attribute everything to God only. I have not seen that God. But we attribute everything to God.
No, but how the first son was okay, second son is not okay? What is?
First son was not exposed when he was in the womb. There's no placental barrier for it. The lady, when she was pregnant, that time the number of vehicles in Bangalore were very, very small. When the second child was born, number of vehicles were...
So the pollution in the air, pollutants.
Though dilution is not a solution for any kind of pollution, in the case of first son, the second son, he was more exposed. Maybe paint came to their house. First son, when he was born, he played in a room which was not painted. One chunam, lime water.
Correct.
Second son's room was very nicely painted. Paint, I tell you, this is something terrible. 90%.
Who that all the paints we use?
I have a machine with me. I can measure the paint content of your wall within 30 seconds.
Really?
Without damaging anything. It is called XRF, X-ray fluorescence. I have it with me. 34 lakhs, that instrument.
My goodness.
It's like a gun. I just put a X-ray on the wall and it gets the reflection back. It tells you 36 elements. Immediately, instantaneously. That is with me. Now, you see, 90% of the market share of paint manufactured in India, I tell you, my dear viewers, you must remember, 90% of market share of paint manufactured in India, they are all lead-based paints. Of course, we have the best of the standards in the country, global standards, but we don't implement. No standard is mandatory.
Then how, sir?
No standard is mandatory.
ISI, quality control, quality check.
But who is demanding? Are you demanding for quality? Are you demanding for the standard to be implemented?
Sir, should I demand? I thought it was my birthright, sir. Why should I keep demanding? I'm paying the money, no, sir.
But you pay how much money? If it has to be quality product, it costs. Lack of quality costs more, which nobody realizes, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. Nothing is free, sir. Nothing is free.
Nothing is free. Nothing comes free.
Is free.
How many of our common man can afford to, buy? Then I said, I went to paint industry, called all the chairpersons and secretaries. I said, this is the situation. Why don't you introduce lead free or lead safe? Lead free is not possible anywhere in the world. Lead safe. Below 90 ppm of lead in the paint. They said, we don't have technology. I said, 90% is only leaded. 10% what you are manufacturing has below 90 ppm. I know that. You call your chemical engineer, I will ask him. That is for export. Otherwise, Singapore will not accept your paint.
Oh, smart
Asian
fellows.
paint, burger, all this paint come. I said, I lied that time in the meeting. I said, and secretaries were there, government secretaries in Quality Council of India. I said, if you are not going to decide next week, we are going to meet, that you will produce lead-safe paint for domestic and decorative purpose. I'm not asking for commercial. I'm not asking for industrial. You continue with lead. I am not bothered. For submarines, it has to be lead-based paint. Otherwise, it will get corroded, eroded. If you can produce for the domestic and decorative purposes for our families and children, okay. If you don't, then government has already, I lied, government already decided to import paint from Australia without duty custom, make it available at lower price than your paint, and you will, where will you go? I don't want our Indian industries to die.
It's like this Ashwatthama Hatha
I tell you, next week all of them came, yes, we will produce.
Amazing, sir.
Gazette notification was made. Today, I'm happy. We have
Sir,
lead
we
safe
have
paint.
to
Lead safe paint, my dear. It's not for me, my children, my grandchildren.
I agree, sir. But
On my
somebody
days,
had-
I never had any paint. We had no money to buy paint.
Correct.
Therefore, we were not lead poison.
Sunam, you.
Chunam, we were putting it was absorbing carbon dioxide, toxic gases. With this paint, will not absorb anything. Bloody, it reflects everything. Not only that, it went on to many other areas. And of course, lead is a great metal. I would like to thank lead.
Why?
I tell you, without lead, my voice will not be recorded. Lead soldering is there.
Oh.
Without lead, I could not have traveled to 178 countries in the flight. I would have developed cancer, skin cancer.
Why?
Thanks to lead, because the aircraft shield, outside, lead vinyl shield filters all the radiation. I thanks to lead because all the bridges to Manhattan, in New York, they're all painted with lead-based paint. Otherwise, they would have collapsed by this time. I thank lead because in the churches, beautiful mural work, that is glass, stained glass. Fantastic work. Where
that
are
is
those? Yeah. Go to Vatican.
I know, I've
paintings
seen
on
that.
the roof.
I've seen that.
Fantastic.
Sistine Chapel.
But for the lead, none of them would have continued to sustain there.
Remain.
With shine, with its stability to weather. In fact, Russia, they made some statues out of tin. In winter at minus 45, the tin collapsed, it powdered.
Oh.
But they made it without lead. Lead sustains very low temperature. I was in Mongolia several times at minus 45 degrees. And lead is the one which is used for making idols and, statues. And this is the beauty of lead. Lead is a wonderful metal. Your shirt button, my coat button, contains lead. Otherwise, it will not shine. Otherwise, it will be dull.
My goodness. So lead is
Newspaper would not
ubiquitous.
have come up, but for
So
leading.
lead is ubiquitous everywhere.
Everywhere. Lead is ubiquitous.
My goodness.
Sarvantaryami.
Ah.
But that lead is wonderful. Lead in your inverter battery, at home, when power fails, that provides electricity to run the fan and couple
That
of
is
lights.
that boy story, that Vijay boy story you had put up in the paper, whose father was making
In Lucknow.
Lucknow.
He's saying by the boy, young boy. I was in a meeting in Lucknow, King George Medical University. Dr. Abbas was there. He had invited me. He said, sir, can you... He is now Vice Chancellor of ERA Medical. He said, sir, that one parent has come, want to meet you. I said, what? I'm not a doctor to meet anybody. I'm a PhD man. I'm a non-medical man. What is that I can do? No, his son is suffering from lead poisoning. He wants to meet you. Advise what to do. Then I called him. The father had a baby on his shoulder, like a turkey towel. No activity. He's just 1 year young, 1 or 2 years young boy. Then he has a wrist drop already. I don't know what to do. I asked him what is his profession. He was making battery at home.
Who this car battery?
Father, car batteries he was making. Repairing, reconditioning, making, selling it for even a lot of e-rickshaws were there in Lucknow. He was making, and this innocent child, was playing around and it got lead level was 200 microgram per deciliter. According to literature, the boy should have died. He had not died, he was still alive. Then I called Dr. S.J.S. Flora. He was an authority on chelation. Called the emergency medicine man. We all sat, and then I told them the only medicine they have to take, like what I did to Venkatesh, DMSA, desmercaptosuccinic acid. It is not manufactured in India. There is no demand. No doctor knows about this medicine. It's a desmercaptosuccinic acid which binds with lead and it doesn't redistribute it to the brain. It takes it out in the urine. We got it from China. And this boy became all right. Now he's doing his MBA.
Wow,
Fantastic.
amazing,
I tell you,
amazing,
these are the Kushi.
amazing.
His name was Kushi, to bring Kushi to us. But the boy did not bring Kushi in the early stages to his parents.
Amazing.
Like this, there are hundreds of instances, I tell you,
No,
where
I'll want to bring this one in interview you gave after this Maggie Noodles had led in
I tell you
2015.
what
It's
happened.
easy to, you made a statement. Let me read that
I
statement.
tell you, I
verbatim.
thank Nestle for creating massive awareness, which I could not do for 20 years. In 6 months, Maggie, Nestle, I tell you, I'm very ever grateful to Nestle.
Yeah?
Do you know why? What happened?
Ah.
Maggie is one of the noodles. There are many brands, Top Ramen, so many noodles are
Correct.
there. I don't want to only say Maggie. Noodles, 2 minutes noodles or noodles. Because parents are working, they have no time, they are also tired by the time they come. Child comes home, they tell that maid, prepare this.
Noodles.
Very easy
2
to
minutes.
prepare. Noodle. They may use Maggie, they may use XYZ noodle also. Then what happened? These children who are consuming noodle large quantity, they were not performing well in the school. Somebody had noticed it. Then we wanted to. Anyway, when I go out and see number of vehicles moving up and down, I don't see vehicle, I see only batteries in that vehicle. when I see somebody, lot of people walking around, I don't see them, I see only toilet in them. Our way of looking at it is different. Each one look at isn't it? Go out and see.
I never
They're
thought
all
of
carrying shit in their.
Correct.
Cars are carrying batteries. I'm sorry to tell you.
Correct.
This is the truth which we don't accept. Then we got that Maggie tested. Nothing, no lead in that. Nothing.
No lead, huh?
No, absolutely no lead.
Oh.
We took that Maggie, that noodle only.
Ah.
And then my student said, sir, this is not what they eat. They eat after cooking. They add masala also. We will cook it and then test it. Then it was there.
Oh.
Then the masala packet had, small
My-
packet, it had lead. Some lead salt, maybe lead chromate, I don't know what it is. Then, of course, then we brought it out and the government became alert. But the Nestle went to the court and they said, these are all fake. This laboratory is not even accredited. Of course, these laboratories were not accredited where this was done. But still, this was a problem. Of course, what awareness we should have created in 20 years of our work, Maggie, the Nestle company created in 6 months. Of course, now it's all safe for people to eat, like in European Maggie. I don't know why we should add masala. We add masala.
So, for Indians, no masala means no fun.
No
No,
fun.
Huh?
You
started.
you don't get masala. You
Of
need
course,
only Maggie,
sir,
then
if you
eat
go
it.
there and eat, your brain stops working,
It's
sir.
not just Maggie, Dr. Sharan. I want to tell all the viewers, you are having kitchen. In kitchen, you have a lot of spices, whether pepper, ginger, whatever it is.
You want turmeric, you were saying.
I know. Somebody said, no, I don't buy turmeric powder. I buy turmeric, the roots. To make that root soft, they boil it in water and in a vessel, that vessel is coated with tin and lead.
So then where do we go, sir?
We don't have to go anywhere. We have to be there and solve the problem, I tell you. We should not run away from that. We should not run away from problems.
How do you solve them? I can't manufacture my own vessel, no, sir.
No, organic farming has come. That's where I always say One Health. WHO said, my health is my right. I said, no, my right is not just my health. My right is my animal health, agricultural health, environmental health. Then only I will be healthy.
Correct. Unless the environment around me.
One health. Now, we have to live with our environment. We have to cope up with our all, whatever things going wrong. We should rectify it. We cannot run away from problem. We should live with problem, solve that problem. Every problem has a solution.
Correct.
If there is a problem without solution, it is not a problem. Have you come across any problem without solution in your?
No.
Every problem has a solution. I may not know the solution. I will approach you. I will approach her. I will get solution from somebody.
Or find it.
Find
if
it.
it doesn't have.
But one thing with lead has no biological function in any living system as on today. Like copper had no biological function millions of years ago. Copper was highly toxic lead. Then the cell started adjusting itself to the copper from the environment, deep sea. Then one organelle was formed in the cell called mitochondria that trapped copper. Then copper-induced enzymes came out like oxidases, etc. Same thing might happen to lead one day. because we are getting adopted, adjusted, acclimatized. These are the things which is happening with every element, isn't it? Lead is a wonderful metal. At the same time, lead outside our system is very useful. The moment it enters biological system, it is deleterious.
It's a mess. So what is so you said you visited some 178 countries. When you told me that, I went to Google and said, how many countries are there in this world? I just wanted to check. They said
It's
there
a
are
very
200.
dynamic number. Very dynamic number.
Right now it says there are 200 countries. So I saw 199 or 200 or
Today
something.
Ukraine is there, tomorrow it may not be there. It's very dynamic. Their countries were all given division, new names and
Correct.
But 200 plus.
Yeah. So you have visited 178
No,
countries.
it's not the question of number of countries I visited. Number of places I visited. In the same country, many things I have not seen. Can I say I saw that country? That's the reason why I told you 797 districts
I was just going to
in
come to
India I have visited. That means I have seen some India.
So what is this project 797?
I'll tell you.
What is a funny number? What is this number?
We have a very big Ministry of Health department called NCDC,
NCDC.
National Center for Disease Control.
Okay, correct.
It all started as a malaria institute. Malaria is almost eradicated. Then they went into other diseases to control. Now diseases are under control. Now they want to look at the diseases caused by environmental factors, like lead, pesticide, insecticide, things like that. Then they had a meeting. I was invited to the meeting. The meeting I said, you have to first collect data on what are all the toxic substances we come in contact with. Pesticides, insecticide. I tell you, during my childhood days, my mother used to buy a lot of vegetables. During this season, she used to buy avrekai. That had a lot of worms in those days. She used to remove worm. And when she was cleaning the rice, she used to remove some worms.
Correct.
And today, avrekai has no worm. Rice has no nothing.
Correct. So we thought that was a good sign.
No, it's not a good. It's a very bad sign.
Really?
Because the amount of pesticide, insecticide, herbicides they are using today, nothing can survive. If you consume, you will not survive. I tell you.
Sure, Rama.
He
felt very happy. Oh,
I tell
very
you,
healthy. You're looking at no worms.
No need to clean. You put it there. I tell you, it's horrible. I would love to have worms in my fruit. That means that worm has survived. Eating the fruit. I will also
Sorry,
survive.
but that is too much.
I tell you one small incident.
Today morning I opened sitapal, there was worm inside, I dumped it.
You must eat that.
Really?
Remove worm, eat rest of it.
That's what I was
Don't
thinking.
eat sitapal which has no worm. It has all invisible pesticide, insecticide. It will kill you. Today, cardiac problem.
Amazing.
This is small wisdom we need, It's
I agree with you.
I got it from my grandfather. He told me one story. In a village, grandfather told grandson, please come, we will go to my daughter's house, which was on the other side of the forest. And so grandson was very happy. He went with his grandfather without food or anything. And halfway through the forest, he was very hungry. And he was carrying grandfather also. And Tata, I am very hungry, he said. Okay, see, he was blind. Grandfather was not able to see many. See if there are any fruits. That tree has a lot of fruits. Has any fruits fallen? He said, yes, many fruits have fallen. Please go and see, pick up one fruit and see if any insects are there. He went and saw, yes, insects are. Eat that. This grandfather's wisdom, we have lost it today.
Sir, you have completely turned it upside down in my brain, sir.
No, we should not think globally and act locally. That's what people say. Think globally, act locally. I said, perform locally, advocate globally. Achieve locally in your society, in your environment, and promote it globally.
Unbelievable.
This is what we did with lead. We worked the problems we are facing in India, in small village, where they used to put rangoli, but they have got the paint and painted that rangoli. Laziness. Like Buddhists, they are supposed to pray. They don't pray. They make prayer wheel. They allow water to go through the propeller. The wheel rotates. They write all the prayers on a flag, put it on a pole. Wind blows and flag flutters. They think it's praying. Laziness. What we are doing, same thing. Put rangoli with paint so that 1 year you need not worry. And that rangoli has a lot of lead. Children walk in and out, and we require microgram to disturb our health, not gram, kilogram. 1,000th of a gram is milligram. 1,000th of a milligram is microgram. That is enough to kill us.
Really?
Of course. At the level of 60 microgram, one female child died in my hand. Beautiful female child, which looked at through 2 or 3 months, young child, which was getting convulsions after convulsions. Because father was buying battery, breaking it and making pipes for the toilet. It will not get corroded with urine. He made some money, got married to a Bihari girl, beautiful girl. She became pregnant. In one corner of his shed, he was making battery, melting, smelting, cutting. Other side, she was making roti. She became pregnant. There is no placental barrier for lead. She was inhaling all that. The child in the womb, fetus in the womb, must have got some lead in the brain. No brain barrier. Blood-brain barriers. When the child was born, it was a female child. At the age of 3 months, 2.5 months, came to our hospital. Some intern saw, asked, what is the profession? He said, private. He said, private, what are you doing? Normally they don't ask. They write private and send them. He said, I'm making better. Then immediately he sent him to us, saying things, suspecting lead in the blood. We did the heel.
So by the time your hospital was educated.
By the time at 12 o'clock, we got the report, child was dead with convulsion.
Very tragic.
How many millions of children are dying like this? I don't know. If Einstein were to be born in India, I tell you, he would not have got Nobel Prize. His IQ would have been lower. Really, I'm serious about that. How many of our children have lost that ability, capability of creativity to get recognition, global recognition?
But why are you singling out India for this? You think the other countries don't have so much left?
I tell you, India is a big population.
Okay.
And a lot of poverty. If you go to Gujarat, if you go to, say, some places like Calcutta, Bangladesh, for example, even the ships come, old ships come for wrecking. Shipwrecking is there in India and Bangladesh. Alang in India, Chittagong in I had been to both the places. Who does this work? Poor people. Poverty is the opportunity for business. C.K. Prahalad said, poverty is the opportunity for business.
I was thinking where I heard this. C.K. Prahalad told this.
Prahalad.
Correct.
C.K.
Correct.
Now, when poor people are there, they will do anything to get one meal. This is what is happening in developing countries. Now, of course, I don't say India is developed. Parts of India are developed. Parts of India is yet to be developed. America, some parts of America is yet to be developed.
Correct. I agree.
Lead problem is more in America than in India,
Yeah.
Because they have painted all their wooden houses.
Oh.
People.
So it's not unique to India.
Not at all.
So the same mess is there everywhere.
That's not Sarvantaryame, I told you, no? Lead is Sarvantaryame.
My goodness. And why is America not doing anything about it?
They are doing what has happened. See, mitigation is not easy. They have already painted for hundreds of years. And now they can't scrap it. And now some of the houses are like ghost house. Nobody goes there because they have to give an undertaking. If I will pay rent, if something happens to me, you have to compensate.
You for lead, huh?
Yeah, of course. All hospitals with white paint. I tell you, even in India, some of the old hospitals like Lucknow, KGMU, King George Medical University Hospital, all the paints on the British time building, the paint is white, all the paints, layer after layer after layer. You can peel it off one layer after another layer. They are all lead-based paints. I tell you, where children live, where children play, where children learn, where children sleep should be free from lead.
Sir,
now,
I never realized that lead
we have
has
taken a
become...
wonderful project with Government of India.
Okay.
And USAID. We wanted to do the lead map of Jharkhand.
Okay.
Lead map of Jharkhand means we go to an area like Tata Steel. Jharkhand has a Bokaro Steel. We go to Tata Steel. Jamshedpur is there, Bokaro is. We measure the air lead level, soil lead level, food lead level, blood lead level, correlate and make a lead map, 3D map of lead. Then we get a data. Then we don't measure the blood lead. What we do? Where are you living? We ask question. And such a place. Then we have AI data. What is the air lead? What is the soil lead? What is the vegetable lead? Milk lead, etc. Milk is a very good source of calcium, but it's an excellent source of lead also. Because during this Ganesha festival, soon after the rainy season, in June, July, we purchased a painted Ganesha, immersed it in water. A 2 kilogram weighing Ganesha contains 180 to 200 grams of paint containing 12% lead. That goes into water.
Correct.
I and you don't drink that water. We don't give this Bisleri or Aquafina water to cows and buffaloes. If somebody is found giving Bisleri water to a cow and the buffalo, he will be taken to
Mental hospital.
Nimbans. And that water, these cows and buffaloes drink. They get all lead into the system. They thank you through giving milk to you and with lead also. That's how lead is one of the sources of lead. The milk we consume, milk products we consume.
Crazy.
Lead is coming from eating plates. You go to some big party, some caterer's name, address, telephone number, website, email, everything is painted with red colored paint. Half of it has gone. Where is somebody must have swallowed that also along with some food item, no?
So that means
That's what I would like to tell viewers. Please keep your eyes open. You don't know from which side your pressure cooker, how they have made. Pressure cooker is made out of aluminum, which they have taken from abandoned vehicles, old vehicles. They have melting and smelting and making pressure cookers.
So I am
Mexico.
going to ask you one very criminal question now, sir. You are saying all these things, but you are also living in the same world. How are you managing your lead levels in the consumption?
It's $1 million. I know where it comes from. I avoid that. I don't eat out.
Okay.
And even the turmeric. Bangladesh turmeric is the only turmeric which is free from lead.
Really?
100% free. Bangladesh is a country where they have porcelain, the China dish, where they have written lead and cadmium free.
Oh,
Not India.
interesting.
This is
Why did it come into Bangladesh for what?
They have decided, I tell you, they are strong. Like in Pakistan, I went to Pakistan, Islamabad, to give a talk on lead in Surma. And I tell you, they were
Oh, the one they put kajal,
they put, the eyeliner, Surma. That was causing problem with their eyes. And when I explained it to them, they took a decision to overnight stop this Surma. I went to Nepal. Nepal did it. Small country, small population. They are able to do. We are huge. We have layers and layers of approval required. Not that easy. We have best of the policies in the world at Bureau of Indian Standard. But nothing is mandatory. Everything is voluntary. If you want, you can bottle water and sell it. Nobody will fine you, harass you.
Huh?
Say RO water. You won't put RO machine. Where is the standard? Are you following standard? How many of us clean our refrigerator regularly? Clean our aquaguard regularly? Do we get it service? Hotels particularly? We know where it comes from. The battery, inverter battery under the staircase.
We have 6, sir.
Keep it there. Have you ever bothered to put some Vaseline or grease on the terminals?
For what, sir?
To prevent that lead oxide coming out.
Really?
Of course. Have you done it?
So I did not know why I should.
This is the thing.
So how do I know? The battery fellow should tell me, no, sir.
He should tell you. It is written on that. It is written on that.
Really?
You are not read. What can I do? How many of them? Okay, I will ask one question.
I'll go today evening at least.
No. Not only to you. I am going to ask all the viewers. How many of you know what is your blood lead level?
I don't know, sir.
You don't know. They also don't know.
Okay. Assume, sir.
I tell you, they raise their hand, they don't know. Do you have any symptoms of lead poisoning?
We don't know what the symptoms are, so except memory, gimmery, all of those things.
I'll tell you the symptom. I have lead in my blood.
Okay.
I have no symptom. No symptom is a symptom of lead toxicity. Simple. Why I tell you? Most of the symptoms overlap. Like you have cold. Somebody has hearing problem. Somebody had abdominal cramp. Somebody has muscular weakness. These are all symptoms of neurological symptoms caused by lead. Maybe caused by other things also. We have to rule out. Isn't it? Therefore, we need to create massive awareness. For which I would like to thank Professor Shashidhara, a good friend of mine. He is one of the founders of National Referral Center for Lead Projects in India. I tell you, he created 4 programs for the whole country. I must tell you here. One is called, he said 60% of any problem can be solved with awareness. Public. He is not a doctor. He is not a scientist. I took him to Bolivia. I made him professor, visiting professor. Okay. He said, he was in museum. Now he is in Suchitra Film Society. Museum, he used to educate people. He said education is the best means of avoiding any problem.
Which is what we are doing through our podcast.
That's what we are doing. Now, this is an awareness program.
Correct.
You all know that lead is toxic. You want to avoid. Now, he said, we must catch hold of school teachers. 50, 60, 100. Half a day workshop for them. Okay, give material. Tell them. Pencil, for example. Painted pencil. What do?
We
Bend
keep
one
them
end, other end you chew.
Huh?
That paint is enough to.
How many times I've choose? I'll be doing
You would have been much more successful neurosurgeon. You would have amassed wealth if you had not chewed that.
Oh,
Now,
Rama.
we called them, we certified them from myself, Shishidhar signed, Giridhar Gyani signed. He gave 50,000 rupees for each program for Quality Council of India. I tell you, these teachers were called leaders. What leader mean? Led educators. L is led educators. Educator, leader, L-E-A-D-R. And then one more program, he came out with fantastic program. That is, children playground must be quality playground. They should not get hurt. If there is barbed, they will get hurt, physical hurt. If there is lead, they will get mental hurt, psychological hurt. He said we should have quality play environment for children. Quebec. Quebec. I thought it's some city in Canada. Quebec. Quebec is quality play environment for children. We went to parks and Bal Bhavan was the first park where certified. We took the instrument, measured all the lead content. He came out with one more program, school children, PUC students, BSc students, called, it's a student talent research program. Student talent research. What we gave 3 months support from our center, students to go around, collect materials and analyze it, publish a paper. It's called STEP. One step, student talent environmental project, STEP. Therefore, QPEC, STEP, leader programs were creating awareness. Massive awareness.
Got it.
Today I should remember him. I was talking to him this morning.
Okay.
He's a common man. He is not a professor in any medical college or somewhere. These are the people.
How much impact they on common man can
they
have.
have made. Myself, Shishidhar, have traveled all over India and conducted this leader program. More than I think, 1,000 programs or so. And in each program, 50 to 100 teachers, 1,000 into 50 or 100 teachers. They had to conduct every year for 500 students. It multiplies. And every student goes home and educates their parents and sisters, siblings. This is how it's spreading. Awareness is most important. In this, Maggie, Nestle created a fantastic awareness. I am extremely grateful to
Direct or indirectly.
No, whatever it is. I know it's good to accept what mistake we have done or making and rectify and also create public awareness.
I agree, sir. So now I'm coming to that patient we treated together called Venkatesh in our hospital. So Girinagar Jain Hospital. So this guy had for some reason become unconscious. He was then taken to the hospital. He was slowly getting worse, it seems, some tiredness, lethargy, and eventually became unconscious. For nearly 40 days, he was on the ventilator, deeply unconscious in a private hospital. And then he was not dying, he was not getting better. They were at their wits' end to know what was going on. They tried all sorts of tests.
Because they are not taught in their medical education.
Yeah, so they had no idea what was going on. Finally, they said, I don't think he's going to survive, whatever it is. And then the family ran out of money. So they came, they heard about me. They said, maybe I can do something. In what world he thought? Anyway, he shifted to our hospital. Sir, even if he dies, we want to die under your care. We want to try something different. They came here.
Frustration.
He came to me. Now I'm breaking my head. No, this fellow has come after under me. Now what am I going to do? Already so much of tests were done. And somewhere we started talking history. Something something that he used to consume before. Anything is there. And somewhere we came to the fact that he was taking some native medicine preparation for 8-9 months. Some Siddha, Unani, some medicines. And then I think I spoke to you.
Yeah. I remember.
And then I said, I remember you were talking, you used to talk about toxicology and all that. I said, let me eat your head. So that's the fringe benefit of knowing you. Then you said, have you checked lead level? I said, oh, can we check lead level? I didn't even know. And I checked it, some 20,000, 30, some unbelievable figure came, sir.
No.
Then
in that medicine.
Yes. And then, in his blood we tested.
Must be around 100, 200.
Something. And then you said to put the chelation agent, we found it, we put it. Sir, that guy, again in our hospital, remained on ventilator. He couldn't move the limbs at all. He became conscious, couldn't move
his limbs. He could not lift
his
his hand, I know.
Yeah, nothing. He was paralyzed,
like
all 4 limbs. And but he woke up. After he woke up, he wants to go to the ward. I'm not able to take off the ventilator. Then finally, he was like, kill me. He used to keep on saying that. I was so frustrated. Then I said, "Chalo, with the ventilator, I convinced the hospital, move into the room. At least he can be slowly. We weaned him off. Sir, today he's completely all right."
Fantastic.
So now you tell me, you had written a paper in JAMA
Yeah.
about the
Lead,
lead
cadmium,
content in
mercury,
on
arsenic,
the.
sold in US
So
on internet.
can you tell us, tell our viewers about that, sir?
I tell you, traditional medicines are a great gift to all of us. In fact, the allopathic medicines are all poisonous chemicals, concentrated. Whereas in traditional medicine, nothing is concentrated. Everything comes in some diluted form. But dilution is not a solution for any kind of pollution, I mentioned some time ago. We have Chinese medicine in China. We have Mexican medicine in Mexico. African medicine in Africa. We have Indian medicine, herbal medicinal practices. We have all over the world localized medicines which is purely based on what they grow. Time tested. Like we know at home, my grandmother used to make kashaya when we had cold and cough.
Correct.
Whatever there was, ginger, pepper, whatever she was there. Now, this is how, 5,000 years ago, herbal medicinal practices started in this country. Great system called Ayurveda. It is not to cure disease, but to prevent diseases.
To maintain wellness.
Maintain wellness.
Correct.
Now, over a period of time, what happened? Somewhere in between, they started other branches of this, wherein Ayurveda doesn't permit the minerals and the metals to be used. They started Siddha, Rasayana, and things like that, where they used some of the heavy metals. These metals are highly toxic, like lead, like Naga. Naga is lead. See, why that in Sanskrit they call lead Naga? Naga means snake, poison.
Correct.
Naga Bhasma.
Oh, correct.
Trivanga Bhasma. Mahayogaraja Gugulo. These are all the medicines containing toxic metals like lead, cadmium, mercury. So then, what is Swarna Bindu? Mercury. They were all given to boost immunity. I don't know how it does. When I asked them, they said, no, we do Shodhana, wherein all the ill effects, toxic effects of these metals will disappear. It is all beneficial effect. I can't accept it actually. Then when Robert Sapper came to me from US, he saw my name somewhere in Google and he came to me. He said, I want to collaborate with you because we have this problem of some of the Ayurvedic medicine sold on internet in US is killing people. Killing people. He's a family medicine man in Harvard. He called me, he invited me. That's how they invited me as a visiting professor. I went there. I delivered
into Harvard.
He was in Boston Medical Center in Harvard, and also attached to Harvard. There was a Sri Lankan lady, Amara Sirivardhini, Dr. Amara Sirivardhini. What a beautiful name. Buddha's, the Ashoka's daughter's name, Amara Sirivardhini, world most beautiful, beyond beautiful, beyond that health, and she was involved in this study. We collected medicines, analyzed it and found very high amount of lead, cadmium, mercury, up to 40,000, 50,000.
Lead,
ppm.
cadmium, mercury, everything.
Everything.
Heavy metals.
Then we published it in JAMA. That is the time when Ayush department became very alert in our India. Then they said we have to rectify this problem because it's a bad name to the country.
Correct,
Ayurveda means India, India means Ayurveda.
Correct.
Yoga means India, India means yoga. This we have come to this stage. Then we had several meetings and we said if Ayurvedic medicine producers like the Duta Papeshwar or anybody should subject their products to testing before exporting. Then we insisted on gold, platinum, stamp on that. They have rectified. Now, I must tell you, most of these medicines are free from because they are all regulated. That way, this has done very good work.
So every time you have a breakdown, at least you can use that to. Some people have suffered, but that helps other people to
use that. In fact, I have more Ayurvedic medicine at home than allopathic medicine. I tell you, allopathic medicine, most of my viewers, go back and check in your cupboard. You have allopathic medicine, date expired. You have not even thrown it.
I agree, sir. Even in my house, sometimes I find that
once in a while. Terrible thing. I laugh at myself and I'm telling everybody, when I went home, it is still there. What? When my grandchild was 3 years, cough syrup which he had, still there. I said, remove it and throw. Isn't it?
Amazing.
I asked, I tell you a very interesting thing. Old people these days, like me, wants to look young. I don't know, to please whom. They go for makeup, Hair dye, hair dye.
Mhm.
I asked them, are you dying or dying? Because you go to any dialysis room today, any hospital.
Huh.
6 to 8 patients undergoing dialysis have dyed their hair at least 3 times.
You so dye is bad, sir.
They get absorbed dermally, goes into blood to the kidney, damages the nephrons. Not only in India, throughout the world. There is no cosmetic free from lead, whether it's lipstick or hair, nail polish or hair dye, they're all synthetic. Tell me, is it required? When there's I tell you again, most of you viewers, you have child studying in school, If there's shortage of marks, teacher will make up, pay some money. Shortage of attendance, go to the principal, pay some money, they will make up. Only if you have shortage of beauty, you must make up. You are all beautiful, why make up? Tell me. To kill ourselves? Makeup materials contains high amount of toxic substances.
So it's amazing.
World. Ocean of lead is the world. Probably when Shiva had to drink that hala, I think it must have been lead only. Because it had created blue color in this when Parvati came under. Isn't it? It is not new. Lead is not new. Today people want to improve their potency, sexual potency, by taking Shilajit, taking so many other, they are all loaded with lead.
On one side you are saying lead is so useful.
Useful, definitely. Without battery, I am very uncomfortable. Power breaks in Bangalore. Where will I get power, Battery
Sir,
backup.
very, very true. If this government cannot provide power, in Bangalore in 2024, I don't know when we are going to. From my childhood, same thing.
I
happened.
should be told how to maintain the battery.
Correct, sir. I also
Otherwise,
did
my
those.
maid will take the broom and does like that. Child crawling on the floor is enough. Hand-to-mouth activity is high in the children.
True.
Therefore, lead is a problem for which there is a solution. And I tell you, you don't have to get upset. There's a hope. If you find somebody having problem with lead, it can be 100% prevented. But once the neurological system or brain is damaged, it cannot be reversed. This also we should remember. Therefore, during growth and development of a child up to 10, 12 years, one has to be extremely cautious. The biggest responsibility lies with the parents and adults.
And the grandparents.
That's it.
Very well said. I think if each of us take personal responsibility,
Of
that's the
course.
only way we can. So you can't blame the government and the corporation and the MLA or the MP and all of those things.
My grandchild is my grandchild, not
Yes,
your grandchild.
Exactly.
I have to take care.
Exactly. It's, I think, it's a very simple thing to make, because lead is both sides.
That's what I said. Perform locally, advocate globally.
Globally. Perfect. Well said. And they said charity begins at home. I
Of
think
course,
sir,
of course.
So we have to charity begins at home. So now, from the depths of lead poisoning, we'll go to the peaks of the Himalayas.
Okay. I have come from 1,000 meter city.
That's right.
Now I am at 3,100 meters to 4,000 meters.
Absolutely.
First day I was gasping to know what's happening.
Yes.
I stuck in the saturation probe in your clinic. It was 88.
Yes.
So just tell our viewers again, introducing yourself. This is Professor Gustavo. He's a big guy here in chronic hypoxia. Please listen from the expert himself.
Yes, to come to this high altitude city and to face the low oxygen pressure is what every newcomer has to face, And the oxygen levels drop, but the marvelous thing is that our organisms are prepared to tolerate this change, and you can adapt. Actually, you can have the first couple of days a headache and nausea or not feeling good, not sleeping good, but then gradually you improve. And in 40 days, you will increase your red blood cells more so that you can be very much like at sea level, between 3,100 meters and 4,100 meters of altitude, 2.5 million people completely adapted to high altitude. Nobody here is worrying about high altitude. Nobody. They think they are at sea level.
Amazing, amazing. I remember going into your clinic yesterday.
Yes.
And I stuck in the pulse oximeter.
Yes.
And it showed 88.
Yes.
And I know somebody else had a crisis. She was much sicker.
Yes.
But yesterday you showed me a very interesting thing. You told us to take a deep breath, hold it, and then exhale. And then after suddenly you saw the VO2 going up to 93, 94, 95.
That's right.
So what is that phenomenon called here?
Well, I have described this phenomenon several years back because we have respiratory testing equipment.
Okay.
And what happens is that there is a relationship between the air that comes into your alveoli, but some of that air does not exchange. It's not exchanged with your lungs.
Okay.
So that's called a dead space. So you when you exhale that. But when you increase, you take a deep breath, you reduce the ratio. So you get more air, more effective air in pressure. So you're able to, your oxygen levels can go even to sea level values for a few seconds, you know? So that's very useful to improve people that are coming to high altitude. Take a deep breath, hold your breath, and you wait a little bit because it takes a little bit of time. It has a delay because it's the circulation of blood, 14 seconds to your tissues.
Got it.
And then in the sensor you see, it shoots up
Yes.
like at sea level.
Yes. Amazing, amazing.
It's a nice paper I read many years back.
We are very excited to be here. And this is the beginning of many times you're going to see us here for sure.
Yes,
Yes.
we are going to do research together.
Yes, that's a
high
promise.
altitude, and you, with your expertise in neurosciences,
Correct.
and my expertise in hypoxia, in chronic hypoxia, and adaptation.
Yes.
Adaptation is the beauty of
Absolutely.
life. It's the key to survival. And as I talked in my conference, we are adapting every second of our lives. There's a struggle to adapt.
Correct.
For instance, you eat some kind of new food. Immediately you have to start adapting. Your organism is checking, is this okay? It's not okay. Or maybe we should dump it out, or maybe you get allergy or something. So it's adaptation every day. The pressure changes, the temperature changes, and the oxygen levels, of course, like in the cases of COVID, during COVID,
Yes, yes.
it's something I have described, that the lungs get destroyed. It's not a pneumonia, it's a pneumolysis, destruction of the
Whoa,
alveoli.
really?
Yes, the destruction.
Was it confirmed by any post-mortem that you did on any of the patients?
Oh yes, it described. We have the anatomic studies and all that.
Oh.
So it destroyed the alveoli. So the oxygen level starts dropping as the virus expands. But your organism is fighting back, adaptation, adapting, lower oxygen levels, adapt. And sometimes they beat, the virus.
Yes, fantastic. So, doing research with hypoxia with the normal brain is wellness. We also need to look at sickness. People who are sick, how can we make them better? And people who are at risk, how can we reduce their risk of falling sick?
Yes.
So, and where oxygen or hypoxia plays a role. That's where I am very interested to see where we can keep people on the ground.
Extremely important.
Yes.
You saw the talk by Bamsi
Correct.
yesterday
Yes.
from Harvard University.
Yes.
He has written a paper, Hypoxia as a Treatment Strategy.
Yes. Yes.
This is what we have been talking for over 25 years.
For the last 10 years, I've been coming. More than that, right?
20 years.
20 years I've been coming here. And this is the world's highest capital. That's one thing which we had to notice. World's highest capital at 14,000 feet. If you look down, somewhere it's 1,000 meters below this. And the distance between La Paz from base to the top is almost 3,000 feet.
Wow.
Almost 3,000 feet. And people live here, they're happy, they have no problem. And I tell you, vectors are very, very low here. That's why no malaria, no dengue, these problems are not there. And the beauty of this is the southern hemisphere.
Okay.
Whereas we have something similar to this in northern hemisphere. We all know about that's Ladakh. Both are called roof of the earth. Ladakh in northern hemisphere
That's in
and
India.
Altiplano here in Andes. But the highest mountain here in the southern hemisphere is Aconcagua. That is in Argentina. It's not far from here. I'm planning to climb one day.
So I want to ask a question. What is this hypoxia? Why is this called the capital of hypoxia?
Any altitude, anywhere in the world, any altitude is a capital of hypoxia because this is the capital of a country. That's why it's also capital of hypoxia. And we have a high altitude institute here. We don't have that in Ladakh. We have it in China in a place called Rebooting. Rebooting is around 9,000 feet
on the way to Lhasa.
100 meters,
Yes.
14,000 feet.
Yes.
More than, little
I'm
more than-
gasping.
And this is the roof of the earth.
Roof of the earth.
Roof of the earth.
The amazing thing is that it's flat.
Yeah,
Like
that's
you know,
right.
you see the cities at high altitude, but
But
they are in
wait,
valleys
mountains,
or mountains.
Yes.
But this is amazing that they chose this site to build an airport because they can't build it down there.
Exactly.
So the
Also
biggest
landing, no? The
yes,
landing will be
the biggest problem is that people like me who come from sea level, our first exposure is 4,100 meters.
Yes.
And that's like a big hypoxic shock if there's a
Absolutely.
word.
And he had a shock this morning.
Yes.
This is Dr.
You-
Akbar
you
from
should tell.
Adelaide, Australia. He's an interesting guy. He's a doctor and an astrophysicist. And I mean, what a deadly combination that is.
I
You
know. I'm sure.
Like this fellow.
No. In physics, 1 + 1 is 2. In medicine, 1 + 1 is never 2.
Yes.
So, to
Like
be able to merge the two is a big challenge for your right brain, left brain. You're going to be figuring out what
Yes,
is
so
coming
I have conveniently kept them separate so
Perfect.
far.
Perfect.
But now my Mars habitat is deeply ingrained into human physiology. So that's where the medicine and space come together.
Perfect.
And that has got me excited. I felt like a purpose in my life. And that's
Great.
why I'm here.
And he's talking about
Okay.
Mars. Mars, what is that Mars thing? Mars.
Yeah, so we are developing habitat systems for Mars. Not like small
Mars.
pods, but
No,
big-
Mars.
Yes,
Yeah.
Mars. M-A-R-S.
Moon Mars.
These guys are building those things for Mars.
Mars. Think about it. You can book your seats.
and to incorporate like cities or small bases in one habitat system.
Got it.
Not like individual pod-like habitat
Got it.
systems.
Got it.
So what we name it as mini terraforming.
Okay.
So we can't terraform the whole planet, but
Got
we
it.
can terraform small craters on Mars
Got it.
by covering them with these fabric domes. And
And you were telling me so very smartly that you are choosing craters for this. What is that deal on that?
yes, so because Martian gravity is less than Earth, so the ground on Mars
Oh,
is
you're
not
kidding.
very compact.
Okay.
It's loose.
Correct.
Plus, there hasn't been any weathering or erosion and other elements, so it's not as compact. But the craters are formed from impact events,
Okay.
so they formed from the explosion of
Asteroid.
the So they were formed from the shock waves.
Got
So
it.
they are much more compact structure,
Got it.
especially the rim of the craters.
Got it.
So we can put fabric domes on top of the craters and use the crater rim as an interface to connect it to the underground anchor system.
Fantastic.
And then because when we inflate the dome with the pressure, like not sea level pressure, but maybe the pressure that is around about here, 0.6 bar. But that is still a lot of pressure that's trying to blow up the whole structure. So that has to have a very firm grip on the ground, and the crater rim provides that
Fantastic.
compact.
Fantastic. So the two things human beings need to go anyway. One is oxygen, second is water.
Yeah.
But the landscapes of Mars we have seen look so arid and so bad, not even one blade of grass there. So what about water?
So there's plenty of water under
Really?
the surface in the form of permafrost
Okay.
and subsurface glaciers.
Okay.
So permafrost is like, you can imagine a frozen mud. So you need some effort to get water out of it.
Got it.
But subsurface glaciers, they are just pure water. And the more they are exploring the planet, the more they are discovering the subsurface glaciers. Recently, they even discovered a subsurface glacier region on Mars called Medusa fossa, and that is equal to the size of India.
Whoa.
Yeah, so that is a huge area, huge area. So that's more water than you would ever need on Mars.
Fantastic.
So whenever someone says, "Oh, there's no water on Mars," I say, believe me,
I
there's
didn't
a
know this.
lot of water on
I didn't
Mars.
know this until.
Plus the polar ice caps, but there's more water under the ground. So yes, water is not an issue. All you need is a power. So if you have a source of power, then you can extract as much water as you need.
And why are human beings looking at Mars more than Moon? As for
Moon is hard. Moon, getting there is even difficult because you need more fuel to get to the moon than
Really?
Mars. Yes.
And the Moon is just next door.
Yeah, the problem is that in space there is no air. So once you are once you are transiting towards a planetary body, in order to slow down, you still need fuel, and in order to do the orbital insertion or into the lunar orbit, you need to slow down much more. But on
Gravity
Mars,
there is less.
yeah, but Mars gravity is higher than the moon, so you need to slow down less. and then you get captured into this orbit. Plus, you can use the Martian atmosphere to slow down as well, so you would need even less fuel.
Also, you said the Martian day and the Earth day is
Are the same, yeah. So 24 hours, 36 minutes is the Martian day,
Same,
which
same.
is very similar to
the
Earth.
circadian rhythm.
So
will
the
be-
humans would not feel much difference, any difference. I would rather say that they would be there. You would get 36 minutes of extra sleep every day. That would be dream. I would like to go there on a world where I would get 36 minutes of extra every day.
He's a mix of born and brought up in La Paz. Did his PhD at Canada, Quebec, and now currently at Seattle.
Quebec.
Yes.
I was there.
So, it's a very interesting thing, Christian. If you look at the galaxy,
Mm-hmm.
the picture, it's all dots behind the thing. You zoom down under the microscope, electron microscope, it's exactly the same.
Galaxy.
So that and this is exactly the same. Have you realized that?
Yeah, I mean, there's all sorts of people like saying that the complexity patterns just replicate at different levels.
So that's why coming from Mars, we're going down to mitochondria.
Okay.
From Mars to mitochondria is an amazing journey. So he needs energy to go to Mars. We need energy from the mitochondria to survive every moment.
Yeah.
So can you tell our viewers about mitochondria and the work that you do?
Sure. Well, actually, yes, I work in mitochondria, but I work in a very specialized environment of mitochondria, which is the acclimatization to high altitude hypoxia.
Whoa.
As you said, I was born here in La Paz. I grew up here in La Paz. I only left La Paz when I was almost 30 years old.
Okay.
Then I started my PhD at sea level, and I was always interested like how we work here at high altitude, but also how lowlanders come here and can acclimatize here. So to these conditions, as Gustavo said, for us this is like the normal conditions,
Yes.
right? So we were never like worried about that. Yeah, high altitude, I'm getting I don't know, sick or anything. You may sometimes feel dizzy if you come to a lot to like 4,100, then you go to La Paz, but that's normal. You just take 2 or 3 deep breaths and you're all good. So I'm a biologist, a molecular biologist in background. Then when I started my PhD studies, I was interested in how the mitochondria, particularly in the brain, which is a highly metabolic organ, should be different at high altitude. There should be something that make mitochondria different. Then I started learning a lot about mitochondria. Now I know, and I'm even more fascinated for that mitochondria is actually not a single organelle. The new conception of mitochondria is of the mitochondrial network.
Well, I didn't know that.
Yes.
Really?
So we should think of mitochondria
Intracellular or intracellular?
intracellular, but
Oh.
mitochondria can be exported from cell to cell.
So I didn't know this.
So you
Wow.
should think mitochondria more.
Marlene from Stanford, she talked yesterday about this,
Yeah.
The varieties of mitochondria.
True.
In
That's
every
right.
cell, it's different.
That is
not
all. I
only
didn't
that.
know that they network with each other. That's something.
Actually,
Because the brain is all about networks. So so it's very interesting.
Sharon, shall I tell you something about mitochondria? Why it was formed? Who formed? There was no mitochondria in the beginning of life. The beginning of life started at the bottom of the sea. Deep sea where sunlight could not reach. At the bottom of the sea, life started. There was no membrane. Later on, membrane started developing. The cell was something very bland. Nothing, no mitochondria inside. That is the time when it started raining after the ice age. The water got into the sea. That water carried sodium and potassium. First elements to go into the sea was sodium and potassium. That got into this cell, they developed a membrane so that sodium-potassium exchange could happen across the membrane. Electrical activity could come. Because of electrical activity, it could move around. There was no mitochondria. When did mitochondria come? Millions of years later, after sodium and potassium started the cell life to move around because of electrical potential. Then copper entered the sea. Copper was highly toxic to any form of life in the deep sea. The moment the cell touched copper, life, that was the end of it. Then nature is fantastic, I tell you. Then to trap this copper, one organelle was formed inside the cell. That organelle is mitochondria. When copper entered, but today without copper we can't live because mitochondria, copper has a very big role in oxidation reduction processes. I tell you this: if you go back to back to the origin of life, copper has one of the fantastic role in creating mitochondria. And we know the mechanism.
Now, you on one side you spoke about all this lead. On the other side, you're talking about mountaineering, oxygen to the brain at high altitude. Now, so much you have achieved in lead. I think for one person's lifespan, it is not enough. Where did you find the time to do mountaineering? What is that kick you got on this, sir?
See, right from my younger days, I don't know. I wanted to go out to forest. I wanted to go out to mountains. I had no money. Only when I started earning 265 rupees per month at St. John's, some money I used to go to Himalaya.
St. John's was paying you 265 rupees, sir.
265 rupees
My goodness.
per month. See, with a ceiling of 290 rupees. That was the salary. I tell you, that's different. Nature always they were calling me, come. I don't know why. At the age of 16, I went to Himalaya. My grandfather gave me 12 rupees, only 12 rupees. With that 12 rupees, NCC gave me a ticket to travel, some permit. 12 rupees I used, but I did not spend. I brought all the 12 rupees back home because all the co-passengers fed me all through. And I did my mountaineering, trekking and all that. But once I joined, profession, I had to work and earn. My third activity is earn. The first activity, out of 6 activities in everybody's life, first and last activity, we have no control, birth and death. Between the birth and death, there are 4 activities. We have to control everything.
What are the 4 activities?
First activity as a child, play.
Correct. No time to play.
And we should not, I say mat khelo, theek se khelo. They used to say, don't play like that. Correct it. Parents controlled. Neighbors controlled. Then after that, when I started going to UKG, LKG, school, college, learn. Again, we have to learn in a royal way. Correct thing, not wrong thing. That's why we are sitting here and talking. If we had not learned bad things, we would have been behind bars.
Correct.
After that, at your age, not my age, at your age, earn. That also in a royal way, not like many people whom we read in newspapers, whom we elect them as leaders.
Correct.
Not that way. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. That also should be under control, not under the table earning. It should be a royal way of earning. After that, at my age of 79, I can't play. My grandson says, Tata, go and sit and watch. He knows my physical ability. And no school or college will admit me. Nobody will give me job. Sir, enough, sir, you have worked enough. You go and take rest. What should I do? Return back to the society. Isn't it? When I was taking play, that is mountaineering is a play, game, sports. At the same time, I was working, earning. When these two clashed, it was not possible for me to take leave and go for months together to mountains. What to do? Then I said, why not I do some studies at high altitude? Pattern, sleep pattern, urination pattern, kind of food and taste pattern, and galvanic skin response. Things like that. Amylase or salt content in the sweat, sodium, potassium. Let me do something. Then I took some scientific studies at high altitude so that I could get official leave. See, selfish motive. Otherwise, college will not permit me to take leave.
Correct.
Now I became official leave. And also some funds. This is how I went into mountain medicine.
Mountain medicine.
Instead of going like a sheep and goat, at least they graze. I don't graze that also. Going and climbing and coming back is what is the fun? To pat my back and show you a medal and certificate. Instead, I thought we should do some work. That's how in 1980s, we started team, including another neurosurgeon who, Dr. Vidya Sagar. He also came with me, Dr. Govind Babu, our
Victoria Hospital.
He also came.
Oh.
I took most of my students and Tanya Machado, who was in St. John, they all came with me to do some studies. We published several papers, I tell you. Therefore, we took profession became hobby, hobby became profession. Then in one case, like this man who had lead poison, there was a Bolivian man, high altitude, had a very high, neurological problem because Bolivia is known for tin.
Tin.
Bolivia is known for lead.
Mm.
Lead mines are there.
Oh.
Next to Australia, next Mecca for lead is Bolivia. You will come this time, I'll show you. Then I was talking to them. I said, I want to come and do some work with lead at high altitude because lead is also involved in disturbing antioxidant status and things like that. That's how my adventure became part of my profession. Then since 16th year when I started, even today, I tell you, I am going to mountains, trekking, wherever I can, I climb, and I have never stopped.
Amazing.
If I can walk in Bangalore, I can walk in mountains. That's it.
So brain at a high altitude was something that you were talking about. So what happens to this brain at a high altitude? Sir?
See,
I'm curious as a neurosurgeon to know.
you agree with me, we are not using the full brain potential.
Correct.
Maybe 10-20% we might be using. I don't know. You are the better person to tell me. Now, as we go higher and higher,
Altitude.
the oxygen level comes down.
Correct.
It's called high altitude hypoxia.
Okay.
Oxygen,
Hypoxia for our viewers means low oxygen. In the air. And that comes in the blood.
I tell you, it's very simple. At sea level, 1 cubic meter of air has more oxygen than 1 cubic meter of air at 15,000 feet. It has
Why?
lesser because at high altitude, air expands. 1 cubic meter will have half the air what we find at sea level. At 15,000 feet, the air we breathe gives you only 50% of the oxygen. That's why we call it as hypoxia. It's called hypobaric hypoxia, low pressure hypoxia. That is because at high altitude. When you go into deep sea, pressure increases. Hyperbaric hypoxia. At sea level or at Bangalore, asthma patient cannot breathe, cannot consume. It is normobaric hypoxia. There is hypoxic hypoxia. There are different kinds of hypoxia. Whatever hypoxia is there, it is the brain survives only on oxygen. It needs oxygen.
Correct.
When there is oxygen supply is less, then the blood, carrier, it instead of 12 grams, it becomes 18 grams, 19 grams.
Hemoglobin.
Therefore, it realizes, brain needs oxygen. I have to carry, but right now I have only 12 auto rickshaws. I have to make it 20 auto rickshaws. It builds up.
Correct.
It becomes polycythemia.
Polycythemia.
It takes the oxygen to the brain.
Interesting. Very true.
Okay, this is basic common man can understand. This brain, there are different parts of the brain. One of them is olfactory hypothalamo pituitary adrenal area, where olfactory system senses the temperature, oxygen concentration, sends signal to through olfactory nerve bundle to the paraoptic and paraventricular supraoptic area. It analyzes like a computer and sends signal to pituitary. The hormone control starts. The brain is the master gland not only for other things, but for regulating oxygen and also controlling the entire system to get adjusted to varying oxygen. Then first, brain doesn't suffer first. It's the lungs which suffers. We get pulmonary edema, swelling, more water accumulation.
I remember.
Then we go, after the pulmonary edema, if it is ignored, it gives signal. Come on, go down. Don't stay here or use oxygen. But if we ignore, stay there, then brain comes into picture. Cerebral edema. But there is a acute chronic. Of course, acute we can come down, get rectified. But chronic permanent damage is done. In fact, there was a Sherpa who went to top of Mount Everest over 16 times. But he died of one day paralytic stroke because of, it is recorded also. Tenzing died of problem. But I tell you, those who are brought up, living at high altitude, healthier than you and me, not just because of hypoxia. Because of hypoxia, vectors are low. Vector load is low. No mosquitoes, no leeches.
That's why you said they didn't have any COVID also, you were saying.
I tell you, that paper we have published. Myself, our Gutso Zubeta, I was co-author. We were all certified as the best paper published ever in the Latin American journal in Spanish. And this is, I don't know Spanish, but they have translated.
So coming back to the this hypoxia, I remember when we went to Ladakh for a holiday. Ladakh is a desert of the Himalayas, as you know. So
Cold desert.
Cold desert. So there, because the trees are less, the oxygen concentration is even lesser. One is altitude, one is this. So what happened was, normally the two ways to reach Ladakh. One is by the road from Kulu Manali, which takes about 8-10 hours. So slowly you climb, and apparently your body gets acclimatized. Now we went by flight. We landed directly in
Chandigarh to Leh.
Leh, from Delhi to Leh. So they said 1.5 days you should just sit in the room, drink hot water until you get acclimatized. Leh is around 12,000 or 13,000 feet above sea level.
Same altitude as La Paz.
Correct.
You are coming to La Paz
Correct,
now.
correct. True. So then after that we stayed about 10 days in Leh Ladakh, and we went trekking in the mountains and all that.
Nubu Valley and all that.
Correct. Everywhere we went. And we had a personal, guide who took us everywhere. So we went to the Kardungla Pass, sir. Kardungla Pass is the world's highest motorable road. Absolutely.
Those days. Now
Yes,
there's another one.
yeah. So that is 18,800 feet and all that. So he said he saw us playing in the snow. We were very acclimatized by then. Then he said, see, sir, you are playing, but those people are struggling. They're all carrying oxygen cylinders with them. So that acclimatization became important. The same thing I experienced when I was in Japan in 2015. I had gone for my training to be a functional neurosurgeon. 6 months I was there. And I was cycling there. And there's lots of ups and downs in Tokyo, and I used to cycle one way 45-50 minutes. So it was my capacity had improved. And suddenly I have an Indian friend in Tokyo who said, well, let's go and climb the Mount Fuji. And there's two months in a year only it's open to climb. It's an overnight climb, sir.
I know.
Because daytime it's very hot. So, and there people take 2-3 days with breaks because of this acute mountain sickness. I didn't realize that. We just went and I was feeling fit. So same night we climbed, sir, from down to top. We started at 7 p.m. in the night, and then we reached on top at 3:45 a.m. and we saw the sunrise from the top of the. It was fantastic. So now I am trying to relate to you what's happening in the acclimatization and the chronic hypoxia and things like that.
There are three things. When we go to new environment, here it's a high altitude. Any new environment, either you can get adjusted, or if you live there for longer period, you can get adopted. Otherwise, if you are there for short period of time, you can get acclimatized. Acclimatized is a short period adaptation.
Correct.
And it can happen with or without some chemicals. Some people, what they do, before they go, they bleed. They bleed.
Oh, really?
Then they take, when they push that pack cells into their system, hemoglobin goes up. They prepare themselves with, instead of 12 autos, 18 autos.
Oh, interesting.
This is one way. Second thing is, there is acetazolamide.
Correct. That's a Diamox.
This is a potassium sparing, sodium excreting diuretic. Diamox.
Correct.
Diamox is, I think, acetazolamide. Yeah. 3 days before reaching 9,000 feet. Now, you are going to La Paz. If you are going to La Paz on 15th of February, on 13th February or 12th February, you start taking one Diamox. By the time you go in, you have excreted all unnecessary sodium, retained potassium. And when you go there, you start accumulating sodium, it will compensate for the...
Interesting.
This is how it works.
So we are supposed to do that now?
Of course, all of us do that.
So, but you should tell us.
That's why I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I'll tell you more other things other than
please,
Diamox.
You need to give us
not
good
only
tips.
Diamox, calcium channel blockers, which is much more powerful. That is nifedipine. Nifedipine is a very good calcium channel blocker. Protects your brain, protects your lungs also. Of course, there is everything fails, ultimately steroids, anti-inflammatory. These are, therefore, my first recommendation is Diamox, 3 days, 4 days before, prophylactic.
And
it works very well.
And continue even there also?
No.
Stop it.
Once you go there, whatever sodium is less here, you have excreted, you start accumulating. By the time you get, it's called erythrocytopenia. This is the new terminology given. You come there, this fantastic place. You will even climb Mount Chakaltaya there, which is 19,000 feet. You will do that. We are going to Mount Chakaltaya, Mount Potosi, Mount Potosi.
But we should do some fitness before
Nothing. If you can walk around, enough, you can walk around there. Only this adjustment. Or if you want to stay for a longer period of time, yes, avoid chronic mountain sickness. For that, there is a different regime altogether. Therefore, today, nobody died in La Paz because of high altitude problem. even outsiders, foreigners. Nobody died till today. Thanks to IPPA, Institute of Pathophysiology in Academy. Institute of Pathophysiology Academy. Fantastic center. You will come and see so many chambers, so many things. I tell you. Great. Now NASA is coming there to learn from us.
Interesting.
This is the beauty of. Anyway, they don't have that high mountains like what India has, what Tibet has, what Pakistan has. Pakistan has more 8,000ers than India. Nepal has. Here, people like Messner, Reinhold Messner, who disproved all the physiologists' hypothesis. He climbed all 8,000ers without oxygen. I went to Mount Comet, 25,000 feet, without oxygen.
Yeah?
But when I went to Muktinath in Nepal, I went by helicopter. I don't know. When I got down, my face was like a moon face. I had not taken Diamox. When I took off from Pokhara, within 45 minutes I was in 14,000 feet, Muktinath. My face became round. I could not pass urine. I had dizziness. In spite of that, somehow I managed to walk to Muktinath temple and came back. While coming down, I could not enjoy anything, any mountain. I went to sleep. I thought, but I don't know whether I died or I slept. It can happen to us any time. I might have gone up to 25,000 feet because I gradually climbed. Here I went up through helicopter. If I had gone by road trekking or I had gone by road by jeep, my son went to beyond Muktinath, upper Mutsong Valley, on the bike. From Bangalore he went. Just a couple of months ago.
How old is he, sir?
He's 44. I tell you, whether we are alive or dead, we are part of nature. Mountains are a fantastic place for us to realize many things, because what happens because of hypoxia, when you live there for a longer time, your other brain cells get stimulated, activated, start functioning. That may be the reason why many of our yogis and they created at Dodital, the Hanuman Chalisa, Ramcharit, everything was written by Tulsidas. Why? Low oxygen. He could come out with many, which is not, if we are comfortable here, everything is provided to us. Why should we work? When something is deprived, then our body parts will start working.
Correct.
This is
very interesting.
That's why I would like to go to mountains at least once a year to rejuvenate myself. When I say myself, my brain cells. My memory is good, I tell you.
I can see that.
All because of hypoxia. Hypoxia.
So guys, hypoxia is good for your brain.
Good, I tell you, very good. What do we do during the Sudarshana Kriya? What Ravi Shankar advocates, what do? We take the deep breath, hold it, and release it.
Correct. We count 6.
Why do we do this? I tell you. When you are climbing mountain, when you are jogging, running, we breathe faster.
Correct.
Why do we breathe? When we breathe faster, we throw all the carbon dioxide out.
Correct.
We get into respiratory alkalosis. High altitude hypoxia leads to respiratory alkalosis. Then we have to reverse this into acidotic condition, respiratory acidosis. How do we do that? Take a deep breath, hold it so that carbon dioxide dissolves in the blood. It becomes carbonic acid. You get into acidotic condition, which is exactly opposite to alkalosis or tiredness. That's why we say, when you're climbing, stop, take a deep breath, hold it, release it, then you're all right. At high altitude, we do that.
Interesting. I
Fantastic.
didn't know that.
Simple. Sudarshana Kriya is nothing but that. When they do that, they get relaxation. They get,
mind clears up.
Some kind of mind clearance. You're right. When I'm a hypnotherapist. I do hypnotherapy to many people when they have functional disorders. Nocturnal neurosis, thumb sucking, drug addiction. I do hypnotherapy. I make them realize, I make them understand themselves under what we call, they accept these ideas and suggestions without questioning. Unconditional acceptance of a suggestion is hypnosis. I've done it at high altitude. I've done it at this time. I have a session at.
Oh, La Paz?
Yeah, I'm going to put everybody in.
Oh, so we are going to be included in that. Interesting.
This is, I tell you, nature is the biggest university, biggest temple, and it's the biggest hospital. Undisturbed nature. Why I'm telling you, when we go to nature like La Paz, Lake Titicaca, Machu Picchu, you see, you don't find, in the forest of Bandipur, you don't find one sick animal. That's why doctors say, oh, take LTC, go to some hill, go to some forest, stay there and come back because you will become better. Because there is no sickness in the forest. That's the biggest hospital. Dictionary meaning of a hospital is place where there is no sickness. In my hospital, when 2,000 beds are there, if there are all the beds are full, there are 6,000 diseases. Every fellow has more than 2 diseases. Now, nature is the biggest hospital where you get good health. Number 2, nature is the biggest university where you can learn from anything on any day at any stage. No need to pay capitation, entrance exams, ECET, CTET, nothing is there. You can learn. Anybody can learn. Pick up a leaf, pick up a stone, pick up an insect, you can learn. That is the university. We get wisdom in nature. Third important thing, nature is the biggest sanctum sanctorum. If you go to a temple, we are supposed to get peace of mind, but we are worried about the chappals we have parked outside. I don't know who will take. All the time we are focusing on chappal, not on the God. We don't get peace, disturbed peace there. But when you go to nature, sit under the tree, you don't have to do meditation, you automatically get it.
Correct.
What we need in life is only 3 things. Good health, good wisdom, peace of mind. Without spending any money, you get it. Okay. Coming to our association with the hypoxia, whether it's lead, whether it's toxic substance, clean environment, we have only 4 stages in our life.
You have a mountain guru. You haven't spoken about the mountain guru. Before we go to spirituality, let us speak about your mountain guru.
The mountain guru is our Gutso Zubeta Kaleha.
Okay. Where is he from?
He is from Bolivia. His son is the one who has invited you. He was called mountain guru. The reason is,
he is from Bolivia. Bolivia is a country in South America, for those who do not know.
We called him mountain guru.
Okay.
Earlier there was another mountain guru. He was called Swami Rama.
Okay. There only.
Rishikesh. Swami Rama Institute of Medical Sciences. He is gone. He is the man who, not that they, see, under hypoxic condition, what happens, we get hallucination. Like some drugs we give hallucination. In that hallucination, if 2 people are coming, we see Shiva Parvati coming down. That is the hallucination. Whether Shiva Parvati is there or not, I don't know. I can't comment on that. Brain is something which makes you see things which are not there. Brain is something which will make you understand what is there with clarity. Both brain can do. You are the master of the brain. You are the guru, brain guru. Now in Bolivia, Professor Kaleha, Gustavo Kaleha, he died at the age of 96. He came to India. When he came to India, he gave some lectures. These lectures, he had studied Indian Sanatana Dharma and he used that, and he's a Christian. He gave a talk, and one statement he made, whether you are alive or dead, you are always part of nature. On that he built it. And people who are surrounding him, they went and touched his feet. Then we put him Mysore, the peta, and then shawl and all that. And somebody said, you are the true mountain guru. Whole world has accepted him as a mountain guru because of his work in the area of high altitude.
Interesting.
That's the beauty of that.
And how did you both meet?
It was in the year 1994. In the World First Congress on Hypoxia. I saw somewhere, I wanted to attend because I have done some work at high altitude, and I told Vidyasagar, hey, Kasikar, his name is Kasikar. Vidya, shall we go there? We have no funds, what to do? He said, we'll write to them. We wrote to them. They said, you somehow come to Bolivia. We will take care of your local hospitality. We were excited. But to go to Bolivia, the cost is 5-6 times more than what they would have covered for our local hospitality. I went there. Vidyasagar could not come that time. Somehow I managed, went there. I stayed with one professor and his wife. When I went there, I developed constipation. I had stomach abdominal because of hypoxia. And then I could not even eat any food. I tell you, he went as an examiner to Santa Cruz in Bolivia. There's another place, Santa Cruz. Not only in Bombay, in Bolivia also there's Santa Cruz. Then it was terrible thing for me. His wife came and gave me, it's a local brew beer. You drink, you'll be all right. Highlanders drink alcohol. All over the world, whether it is the Tibetans or they drink Chong and Rakshi, but in Bolivia they use some other name. And I tell you, next day I was perfectly all right. It's because when we are under hypoxic condition, the alcohol is something which stimulates some, I don't know what, it adjusts the system
Oh,
to such an
interesting.
extent. And then from there we went to Chile in a place called Arica. Arica was the border. Then there, there were two great father and son, Monge and Monge. They came out with Monge's disease.
Never heard of.
Ah,
Never heard.
Monge's disease. Chronic mountain sickness was called Monge's disease.
Oh, I see.
Multi-organ syndrome. Actually, the younger man was there. I met him. I made my presentation on pranayama and acclimatization. That was my first visit to South America in 1994.
Oh.
First time they installed Science, Truth and Honor Award. I was the 10th person. Once in 2 years they give. I got in 2000 sometime the Platinum Award from South America. Science, Truth and Honor Award.
Interesting.
From that year onwards, every year I'm going to, or every once in 2 years I'm going to Latin America. My dream was to climb the highest mountain in Latin America.
Which is the highest mountain, sir?
Aconcagua.
Oh, Aconcagua, that's
booked.
right.
My
You did?
not yet.
Oh, not yet means what, sir? You're 79, you still go
Why
climb.
not?
Amazing,
Age is mere number.
amazing, amazing.
Age is mere number. Don't say
Unbelievable.
because old you are incapable.
Sir.
The age is mere number.
How high is Aconcagua, sir?
That is the highest mountain in southern hemisphere, like Everest is the highest mountain in northern
Correct.
hemisphere. It's around 26,000 plus feet.
Aconcagua is 26,000.
Yeah.
Whoa.
But there's a very strict condition. When I go, I have to carry plastic bags where my excreta should be collected and brought.
Ramachandra?
We can't pollute that mountain. Anyway, these are all adventure and learning, science.
We had our first trip to South America in 2019.
Where did you go?
We went, I had one of my bucket list was to go to Antarctica for
You
a
went
week.
there?
Yes, we
Hey,
went.
my friend is there now. Right
Who?
now.
Who?
Our president of Kaho, Agarwal.
Oh,
Ah.
where is it? The Indian base camp there, huh?
Yeah, Dakshin Gangu.
Oh, Gangu.
He's there already.
Oh,
He's
amazing.
just as a visitor. He spent 16 or 18,000 US dollar.
Oh, it's very expensive.
Very expensive.
We went, it was our 25th wedding anniversary.
Oh.
So we decided to go there. So we, 2000.
You saw penguins, you saw
Yeah,
whales, blue whales.
We landed on the continent, we walked around there,
What was the temperature?
So it was, I think, between -8 to +4 because it is the summer of southern hemisphere. That time we went to, little bit of Argentina, a little bit of Brazil, and then
Okay, you covered
then
those.
and then
Oh,
we went
Latin
to Santiago, the capital of Chile.
Fantastic. There you
So-
saw that.
No, we didn't. I mean, there's just a transit point, so I didn't get in.
Okay.
Oh, that we saw. The Christ
Jesus.
the Redeemer.
Yeah,
That's in Sao Paulo, sir. That's
Sao
in-
Paulo.
Yeah, so we went there.
Sao Paulo.
So when I was searching on
You go
the,
to Brazil,
yeah, we went to Brazil.
Amazon.
No, we have not gone. That's what my next. This one
time,
is the.
this
Whether I
time,
should go to the
this
Amazon
time I tell
rainforest,
you.
as I was thinking.
Yeah. You must.
So these are the two Machu Picchu and the Amazon rainforest is on my.
You go to that river Beni.
I'll take your guidance on that for sure.
That river is full of piranhas.
Yo,
Ah.
the I remember the first time I heard piranha, sir, was in the, I think, in Phantom or Mandrake comic when we were children.
okay,
Remember it used to
okay. Yeah,
piranha,
piranhas.
man-eating fish and all of those things we used to have. So amazing. So now you are talking. We spoke about brain at high
I
altitude,
tell you,
hypoxia.
Our world, I'm not saying country, our world is beautiful.
I agree.
And we don't have eyes to see and appreciate.
True. So now I'm going to ask you a very personal question, sir. This hairstyle you have.
Aye.
This hairstyle you have.
Oh,
So the first time I saw that, I thought I was seeing Dr. Abdul Kalam. Now, is it inspired by him or I don't know. So please tell us what this all about.
Now my hairstyle is always like this, right
Oh.
from my school days.
Oh, really?
It was little long, but after associated with Abdul Kalam,
Mm.
I don't know, somehow I liked his way of thinking.
How did you meet him? What was
You see, in the year 19...
He's a great man, sir. There's no question.
1990 or 91. One Dr. Lazar Matthew came to see me. He was the director of DPAS.
Of?
DPAS, Defense Institute of Physiology and Allied Sciences.
Mm-hmm.
He was in Debel in Bangalore, Raman Research, Sir C.V. Raman Nagar. He said, Abdul Kalam has given me a project. It's about protecting our soldiers at high altitude from hypoxia. How to do that? Since you are a mountaineer, you are doing some work, I have come to meet you. Will you come and meet him? He invited me. I went there.
Delhi.
No, Bangalore. Abdul Kalam had come to
Oh, okay.
He was not president or anything. He was advisor to Raksha Mantri that time. Then I did not know he is a great man. I said, Professor Venkatesh, idli saptangla. He is a lover of idli. No, I did not have breakfast. Come, let's have idli. That's how my association started. Then he said, there's a problem to our Jawans at high altitude in Kardungla. And in Indira Glacier in that area. Beyond Kardungla, it's called Siachen Glacier.
My brother-in-law is in the army.
I see.
So
he was in Siachen.
Yes, he was
Okay, I had been to Siachen. When I went there, I saw they had no water. They had to flush their toilets with kerosene.
Really?
That was the situation.
My goodness.
Then we developed with Gwalior-based center organisms which survives at low temperature to take care of the human excreta. Anyway, then that is the time when he said, can you suggest something to protect them? I said, there is a Gamo bag available in UK. Gamo bag is a long bag where people can be put inside, zip it up and keep
like a hold on
pressure. So that at that level itself they can be brought to sea level. Increasing pressure, sea level, they can... how much it costs, he asked me. He said, 40,000 pounds.
Oh, a lot of money.
Then he said, I'll give you a task. I'll put you in touch with Dunlop. Can you design one? Sir, they are all patented. No, you modify, you put on chimney to that or doom to that so that somebody can sit and watch and observe. If you say so, I don't mind, and we will develop and we will monitor. That's how association started. We developed what is called HAPO bag, high altitude pulmonary edema bag.
Okay.
The 2 bags he gifted me, first 2 bags. One of them I gifted to Bolivia.
Interesting.
That bag is there in Lake Titicaca.
Oh, interesting.
The deep sea divers go inside, get into hypoxia. They are put in hypobaric chamber or hyperbaric chamber. We also have hypobaric chamber there, fully automated.
Interesting.
Beautiful.
Amazing.
This is how, Then afterwards it continued. Then I went to Kyrgyzstan, to the lead mines in Kyrgyzstan at high altitude. Then went to Chile, high altitude. This is how where Kalam encouraged, supported.
How long you were there with associated with him, sir? You were really lucky.
Almost 10 years.
10 years? Long time. That is obvious all 10 years before he became president.
No. Even after he became president, even after he retired, it continued.
Really?
Our association continued.
Amazing.
It
Such
was
a great
not
man.
Raksha Mantri or president. It was Abdul Kalam, scientist.
Correct. I don't think that none of those things stuck with him at all. He was heart and heart. He was a great Indian and I think great scientist. I mean, the contribution is done through DRDO.
I did not cry when I heard my father is no more, when I was somewhere outside. When I heard Abdul Kalam died, I could not control myself.
I can imagine. He's like a father figure for so many of us. I mean, such a simple man.
Simple, down to earth.
And from some small town in
He always
Kanyakumari.
used to wear one blue shirt. I have 3 shirts only with me. One is this, one blue, one white. Then I was told, don't wear dark color or white. Then this was the only thing. That's how he came here. Now, Abdul Kalam had only 3 shirts, all the blue. One day somebody asked him, sir, you same color shirts, same you are wearing. He said, I have only 3 shirts, all the 3 are blue. We are one bag travelers, I don't check in my bag.
Oh,
One bag traveler.
interesting. Amazing.
Bolivia, I have to carry some warm clothing.
Correct. Bolivia will be cold now, sir.
Cold, it will be cold.
Be cold now.
7, 8, that's okay. Not like Mongolia where I was in minus 45 degrees.
That is too much.
You see, the beauty of whether it's lead is also part of nature. It was a sleeping giant in the earth. We woke him up and brought him. Hypoxia is at high altitude. It says, don't come. It's not for you. That's why it causes early morning pregnancy sickness in men.
Oh.
When you come to Bolivia, you will understand. craving for sweets, headache, nausea, vomiting. All this you will experience.
Oh.
What a pregnant lady in the first trimester experience, men can experience at high altitude.
Interesting.
It says, don't come. It creates the symptoms, says, go back. You cannot reproduce here. But still we are adamant, we go.
Yeah. Human beings only want to do where no man has gone before, rather they want to go.
That is true.
Dr. Akbar, apart from going to the Mars, is also helping people on Earth having a more habitable atmosphere in situations where they are challenged in their work. So can you tell us about how your application is useful on Earth also?
Yeah, that's what I'm here. Altitude hypoxia.
Right.
And I think high altitude populations are worst hit, like especially the miners, because they have to work at mines which are at much higher altitude than what we are here right now.
Got it.
Some of the altitudes are like impossible for long-term human sustenance, and they have to push their body's physiology to the limits. So, so through the same habitat system that we develop for Mars, we can develop small scale, or I would say, downscale version of those habitats to create pressurized environments similar to like 2,500 meters altitude, where the miners can stay a few hours every day, like using them for sleeping quarters. So to convert this chronic hypoxia situation into short-term intermittent hypoxia.
You heard that, Gustavo?
Yes.
From Chronic. So now you
Yes.
see that where we are talking about acclimatizing at-risk patients of brain issues, this may be one of the solutions to that.
Yeah.
And we're
Getting
not talking
them
somebody who's
about-
at for neurodegenerative disorders and things like. Can this be one of the solutions, putting them in as a therapeutic strategy?
Can I predict one thing?
Yes.
Listening to all of you.
Look at
In
that dome.
another 100 years.
There's a similar dome. Yeah.
In another 100 years, at sea level, there'll be communities living in hypoxic condition. Structure that once they get in, it will be multi-platinum. That's right. This will happen within next 1 century. People have realized benefits of hypoxia. Exactly. They will create hypoxic living environment.
Of course.
Absolutely.
I agree with you. I think we should pioneer that because we have different people from different backgrounds here.
I think put our wisdom together.
Yes.
We have technology. There's no dirt.
Yes. But
Here is a man.
But my habitat goes the other way around. So in order to create a low pressure, we may need a different sort of structure, a rigid structure.
Definitely. We'll figure it out.
Yes.
It's just about figuring it out. We have come so
Very
far.
simple. What I did when I did the animal experiment, I did not have a hypoxic chamber. What I did, I took a desiccator, connected a pump to that, and kept some rats in that. The pump started sucking air. Of course, the inflow was there, outflow was more. The rats were at 15,000 feet altitude. Yes. I created my own desiccator.
The environment.
Yeah. I had nothing else. I had no money.
Just
I took 2 feet desiccators, kept rats in that. I started observing them as the pressure goes down.
So I'm going to ask you the next interesting question. So have you booked your land on the Mars to go and build your house? What's going on? Let us know so that we can also create.
There's plenty of land.
I have realized one truth
Uh.
between you, him, and him. Maybe with others also. There are 2 categories here. One is engineers. Another is doctors. Engineers, the engineers are creative. They create on Mars. But these doctors are only curative. If something goes bad, then they go for curative. Therefore, there's a combination
Also
of
preventive.
there's a combination of one who created the lift at the same time bringing the rain, curative and creative.
So
Combination is very, very good.
So for both
Yes.
of them to know, I also run a technology company.
There he is.
So we are making our own devices, we have our own software. So we are doing a lot of those things.
I have to show you all these things.
Yes, of course. So that's why we are connecting in more ways than one, because we want to keep it frugal.
No, he wants to see the museum.
Hi, Lucrecia. I just want you to introduce yourself to our viewers and say a little bit about yourself.
Well, thank you. I feel absolutely privileged to have met you during the last 2 days, and I'm very happy to introduce myself. I'm Grecia Vimuroste. I'm the wife of Gustavo Subieta. Well, we have formed a beautiful family together. We are very proud of working together lately and welcoming such a wonderful, interesting people like you coming to our symposium. So welcome, Pratibha.
Thank you so much. Tell us a little bit about, little experience about how this whole hypoxia work that you're doing here with your husband, as a non-scientific person, what do you perceive? How did it all start?
Well, I wasn't working from the beginning. No? From what I understand and from what I know, it was my father-in-law's projection or idea to have this high altitude pathology institute. This was more than 53 years ago.
Oh.
And it started out as a family project. My father-in-law was a medical doctor. My mother-in-law was a nutritionist. They got together, and their 4 children studied medicine.
Okay.
And by the time they were growing up, they all decided to form this institute. And well, it's been more than 50 years ago, and they have done a wonderful job studying and doing research about high altitude, which was not, and it is still not, like a very well-known specialty.
So, but you are not a doctor. So what were you?
Well, I studied diplomacy, international affairs in the United States, and I worked some years for my government. It was a total privilege to have done so, representing my country.
And I see you so involved inside this. I'm sure Gustavo cannot do it without you, right?
Well, nobody's indispensable. He does the greatest part of the job, the whole scientific program. He has great contacts in the whole world. He has made himself known in the last, in the many decades ago.
So, do you have something to say to the Spanish viewers in Spanish?
Que realmente me siento muy privilegiada en este momento de estar conversando con Pratibha. Realmente sería maravilloso que mucha gente se interesara en acudir a futuro a los próximos simposios sobre hipoxia crónica, sobre el espacio, que vengan a visitarnos a La Paz, Bolivia, para conocer un ambiente fantástico en la altura. Realmente La Paz es una ciudad espectacular, hermosa, ¿no? Y van a sacar mucho de provecho conociendo otras personas de otros países, de manera que los invito a que vengan, participen y además también conocer la India, porque he tenido el gusto y la dicha de conocer la India en dos oportunidades, en el año 2000, era el 2016 y el año 2019, y bueno, ¿qué puedo decir? Realmente fue fantástico poder visitar ese espectacular país, ese grandioso país que es la India.
Except for fantastico, I did not understand a word about the things what you said. So thank you so much.
You're welcome, Pratibha. Really, I hope it will be really wonderful for you, for your husband to really privilege us with your presence and with such interesting conferences and the pranayama that you have shown how to do. So let's hope we meet again in the course of life.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you.
For example, when I went to Mount Comet, perfect, completely perfect. I did not use oxygen cylinder. Myself, my friends, we were all doing so well. We never had any hyperventilation, respiratory alkalosis, nothing. But when we hoisted the national flag, we did that beautifully. pictures or photographs were taken. When we came to Bangalore, developed the film, national flag was held upside down. Our brain did not, 2 plus 2
Oh, you
was
didn't
not
realize.
4. I still have that slightly. But if people who had practiced pranayama, regulated breathing, they will not make this mistake. They
Correct.
alert, because we lost that alertness. But we were functioning. But that, what is that we call equality action was not. Brain is a very complex.
Absolutely, sir. Which is what I am presenting.
No, you presented.
I'm trying to get people to see the flip side of it, and then you have the good side of it. Now, how do we find the
But
because unless I create a problem statement, the
you
solutions cannot come.
You cannot
No, and solutions will not come.
No, you present it, say, tell us.
Yes, I'm asking.
How to
I'm
take care.
asking.
How
Yes.
to take care.
Now I want this.
This is not the high altitude.
No. I am talking hypoxia.
It's called, I tell you.
I'm talking hypoxia.
There are 6 types.
So you speak a lot on Sanatana Dharma and spirituality and its impact on your life. Can you tell our viewers what is your take, how you have adapted that to your life and your philosophy, and what's the message for people?
See, it all starts with basic things like eat only when you are hungry, sleep only when you are sleepy. Isn't it? What does it mean? That means we are regulated by pre-conditioned natural instincts for anything. Humans, we are instincts.
Okay.
I always say it's a matter of the mind over the matter in whatever we do. Yoga. For example, if I tell you yoga is going to relax you, do it. It will die. If it is a burden to you, it will not relax you.
Correct.
If my father used to say, hey, listen to that Bhimsen Joshi's music, you will get relaxed. I did not like North Indian, some Gharana and all that. I was not getting relaxed. It's all matter of the mind over the matter. Here, right from my childhood days, I tell you, his mother had a lot of influence on me.
Your mother. So you didn't
Mother's
speak
lived
about
up
your
to 100
childhood.
years.
Yeah.
Up to 100.
Really?
200 years.
Oh.
She died without any ailment. No diabetes, no hypertension.
Amazing.
Old
Amazing.
age.
Mentally clear.
Everything was clear. She said, please call everybody. I want to see my grandchildren. I'm going. All assembled. So all of us. Her father also did same thing.
Ah,
I don't know, genetically.
amazing.
And next day she was no more.
And she had no health problem.
No health problem. Old age.
That's what. But
That's
she,
what it is.
amazing.
We had to support her to come
Correct,
and sit on the dining
Hmm.
table. She used to eat. And at the age of 94, 95, she had 2 masala dosa at one go. That's the kind of thing she had. She always used to tell me, see, whatever your father, music teacher, he takes tambura, goes from place to earn money. You are taking laptop, going from place to place, bringing some money. What is the difference between both of you? Simple thinking.
Mm.
And she always used to tell me, look, whatever might happen, it is not you who is doing. It's your ancestors have done. That is what has made you do all this.
Correct. We also hear that.
Isn't it?
Correct.
Kind
of ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು.
culture. Then she said cause and effect. Whatever effect is there because of something. The same Ishikawa said, fishbone diagram, cause and effect theory.
Correct.
She is the one who told me, when you were a child and some toy was given to you, if the toy was making noise, you used to break and find out why it is making noise. You are very destructive, even at childhood days, to find out truth. Destructive to find the truth.
For the find the truth.
Now, where does this come from? She used to, every evening she used to chant, pray. She used to say, I was just listening. I never by-hearted anything. One day I went to Dwaraka, Krishna temple, black stones. There everybody is standing, Dr. Murli is there. Suddenly I started what my mother was singing. Sri Vallabheti Varadeti Daya Pareti Bhakta Priyeti Bhavaluntana Kovideti Nateti Nagashaineti Jagannimase Palapanam Prati. I did not know from where it came, where it was stored in the brain. Then Murli said, sir, what is this, sir? We never knew you. See. I also did not know. I don't know what I did. Sir, I have recorded. Listen. I tell you, maybe 60 years later, this brain must have got, somewhere it got stimulated to release it. It was stored. I don't know how many more things are stored in our brain. We don't know when it will come out.
Correct.
Then When I came, I told my mother this what happened. She said, it's not you. It is your dharma. It is your... She said, you know, we don't have idols. We don't worship idols. Earlier, we used to worship
Correct. Nature.
nature.
Correct.
In that nature, we developed, she only told me, we started creating gods out of fear, not
Correct.
out of love.
Correct. Correct.
Isn't it?
Correct.
When
Because
God-
I think the newer humans who came in were not as going to Gurukula, so they said at least connect.
Then she told me there are 4 stages in human development. She had not even gone to school. She is the one who told me. What is that? The first stage of human development is Buddhir Vikas. I said, she told Buddhi is not knowledge, Buddhi is the brain.
Mhm.
She has studied a lot. She told me it's a lump of fat. It's a lump of fat, nothing. Buddhi develops right from the conception. In the womb it develops. First organ to develop is the head, you know. After the rest of the body is like a fish. And then other parts develop. Then after it's born, up to 5 years or 6 years, it starts developing. Afterward, brain will not develop. It ceases. Therefore, you don't have a chance to develop your brain. She told me. Brain is like uncultivated. Next stage is Manor Vikas, development of the mind. We talk about brain, we know where is brain, what are the parts of brain, functions of brain. Manas, where is it located, where is it, in what form, is a very puzzling thing. My mother had told me this. Mind develops like, brain is like uncultivated land. If you cultivate it, you get good crops. Otherwise, Hippotarium, Parthenium, all kinds of things will come. Brain also should be cultured with grandparents, parents, with good input. Second stage of development, quality of the brain. You are the Quality Council of India man, but you never talk about quality of the brain. You quality of material, quality of knife, quality of that, chemicals, quality of health. But where is quality of brain? That is the mind. Mind is not located. It is the overall outcome of the brain's function, she said. And second stage also stops at the age of 11 or 12 years. Therefore, no more brain development, no more mind development. The third stage of human development is called personality development. Now, even that you have passed, she said. Personality is, she said, she was a Sanskrit student. Vastra vacha vapusha vidya vinayate sampanna. Sampanna is total personality. Vastra, the way you dress reflects personality.
Correct.
Vacha, the way you communicate reflects personality. Vapusha is the domain, reflects personality. That's from ancestors. Vidya is not the knowledge, wisdom. All these 4 together is the sampanna. Good man, good personality. Up to the age of 20, 21, it develops, stops. After that, there's one more development in human development that is called Atma Vikasa, self-realization. This comes from our Sanatana Dharma. Atma Vikasa, self-realization. When we start thinking of good to others, not to myself. As long as I think of good to myself, it is the samsari. But after that, 60 years or so, is Atma, self-realization, open up. If it has to happen, well, first 3 stages should be properly developed. She said it's like a structure to a building. If structure is strong, you can go any number of floors. If structure is weak, you can't go.
Correct.
This is Sanatana Dharma. Sanatana Dharma is way of life. This is what influenced me to a great extent in my life. She is my best teacher.
You can see the joy in your eyes when you're talking about her. Amazing. What was her name?
Lakshmi.
Lakshmi. You told us or told me also how tough your childhood was.
1 meal a day. It was good. Hypoxia, good. Limited food, good. Limited money, good. It will keep you awake. Work.
That's what you did. You said you couldn't go to school properly because your father didn't have money.
Father did not have money. My uncle gave me 100 rupees per month after my past SSLC to continue my education. I joined NCC because they gave me boots to wear every day and go, and I was fined for that because I did not have chappal or shoes. This is all these things strengthened, they made me realize what is the need, what is the requirement, what is wants, what is need was very clearly understood that check. I was joined NCC because they were giving me coupon to get breakfast in the canteen. Today, so much is there, but I don't need all that.
It's amazing. You were teaching seniors in college, you were telling
I
me.
was I used to teach for the sake of money. I tell you, my classmates used to come to me. My seniors used to come to me. G.T. Narayan Rao have written a book on which he has written me Venkatesh Cosmic Ray, because I gave a lecture on cosmic ray in first year BSc to the third year students. He has published a book also. Yeah, anyway, these are all need of the hour. Need of the hour. When I look back, they are very valuable.
I mean,
Very
I
valuable.
think it makes each of us who we are today, with all the learnings that we have had as children
you,
especially.
I might have forgotten my college teachers, but I can never forget my school teachers. Isn't it?
Correct.
One thing my mother told me, I gave you milk for first 1 or 2 years. And you said, Amma, mother is sacred. But look at that cow which has given you milk for rest of your life. How do you treat that cow?
Interesting.
That's why you say Gomate. The how she induced in us the value for the
Nature and animal.
That is my children have inherited that. My grandson has inherited. That's enough.
So, you got an award recently, the Quimpro Award, 2024.
They gave me.
They
I
gave
did not get. They gave me.
Okay.
I don't know whether I really deserve it or not.
Sir, that's your magnanimity and your
Not that.
humility.
I tell you, there are people better than me. Why they did not get? Why I got? Because I knew some people. They knew me. All because of some godfather and recommendation. I tell you, whether it's a Bharat Ratna or Padma Shri, Padma Bhushan, isn't it? There are much better people behind the screen. They are yet to get. Some people like us, we talk and get exposed. We expose ourselves. We get recognized. Anyway, that is one part of it. Coming to this award, whether it's Aryabhatta award I got about 15 years ago, or whether it's a Karnataka award I got it about 20 years ago, these are all some recognition. Here what happened, I tell you, this award is something unique. They recognize some people who have contributed to the society, not to themselves. Therefore, this award doesn't give us any money. It gives a symbol, a certificate. Plaque. These are two things, gold and platinum. This is called a Quimpro Award, Quality Improvement Award. Quality Improvement Award. This was given to people like Ratan Tata, Nandan Nilekani, and all big people. And I also became one of them. Not that level, I also joined their team now. Health. The first person who got was Badrinath.
Shankar
Netra. From there it started. Every year they recognize one person in the healthcare who has done something in healthcare system to improve the quality of health. Because I was with NABL, NABH and accreditation, giving recognition, assessments, and trained more than 30,000 people from healthcare sector. They thought he has done something. Maybe, I don't know. And some of them got together and decided to give it.
Sir, but honestly,
But I tell you, the greatest award on that day I got, nothing can beat that.
Okay.
It is not that award. I told that on the platform when they gave me award, there's one bigger award here. That is, my daughter came from Dallas. That day, morning 2:30, she landed to attend my ceremony, award ceremony. After the ceremony, she took 3 o'clock flight and went back to Dallas.
Whoa. Amazing.
Can there be a better recognition than that?
I agree. Amazing.
Even now it brings tears.
I can see that.
That is the award. The award is nothing but love and affection you get from people around you.
Absolutely. Sir.
Not a big platform, hundreds of people clapping, standing. That is not award. The award is one small child comes to you. Somebody comes and says, thank you. You are of some help to me. That is the award.
But sir, you deserve it because of what you did to establish quality in the lab. So can you tell us what got you thinking of quality in healthcare at such an early time?
This is a very good question. I not only broke those toys in my younger days to find out why it is making noise.
I used to break it like this, sir.
As I started growing, I started questioning. Why? This is the basic of Sanatana Dharma.
Correct.
Why this dog died? It was alive yesterday. Why this suddenly child is born from nowhere? Why that moon is covered by that shadow? The questioning. That is the we had the freedom to question.
Correct.
As I started growing, I started questioning everywhere. What happened? At St. John's, I was in charge of the laboratory. And many people used to come for various examinations. We used to give a report. They were not clinically correlating. Then I had a doubt. I started questioning, are we doing it right? Are we doing it right? How do we know we are doing it right? Is there anybody to say that you are doing it right? This is the question which came. Then mad thinking, I tell you. I got from a slaughterhouse, goat or sheep blood, divide that into 10, 20 vials, put some names of patient names, and said, this
for
is
sheep blood.
This, sheep blood. This diabetic for last 3 years on this medication, that medication. This is...
Chuma, you cooked it up.
Put and sent it to some labs. I tell you, I'm ashamed to tell you, this laboratory gave me the report to match that condition, not the sheep blood sugar. Then I said, how to rectify this? We need to have some kind of standard. We did not have any standard. That is the time NCTCF was formed, National Center for Testing and Calibration Factors. I was one of the members. It became NABL later.
Okay.
Then we adopted international standard. Why outside India people did not accept Indian articles for publication? Because they suspected, doubted it, fabricated. I wanted to erase that. That is the reason why I went into quality, questioning. Is it correct? Is it right? Is there a system? Is there a requirement? To buy rava to you, upuma to be in your kitchen, you buy best rava. Why not we buy best materials to do testing? Why should we go in for lowest quotation? These were the questions which were asked.
Interesting.
Date expired. Untrained people. I tell you, we need 8 resources. Manpower, committed, passionate. Manpower must be competent. Management must be committed and passionate. Material must be of high quality. Fitness for purpose, doing right thing at right time. Then management, and then the methodology must be validated, verified. And also there should be alternative mechanism if you are absent. These are the 5M. 2E, equipment must be calibrated, maintained. Environment must be controlled, monitored and recorded. 1I, information. These 8 resources, only 8 resources.
5M, 2E, 1I.
1I. There is no 9th resource. If somebody comes with 9th resource, I'll get a Nobel Prize. These 8 resources are there in the bathroom, kitchen, everywhere. Why not we have quality at all stages?
Absolutely. Sir, quality is fundamental. So that's what I've put here, sir.
Who demands quality?
You strive for excellence, others you
strive for excellence.
Shun mediocrity. Absolutely. That's what you are saying right now.
Excellence is the combination of efficiency, effectiveness.
Correct.
Effectiveness, efficiency together becomes excellence. Preparing tea in the middle of the night when husband is sleeping is not excellence. It is the wrong time. But when it is required at that time, doing right thing at right time for the right purpose is the effectiveness.
Correct.
That is excellence.
Well said, sir. Well said. Absolutely well said.
Whole life should be of quality.
So then,
only quality brain can think of quality products.
So I agree, sir. Just to add here, when I was doing my fellowship in Japan again in 2015, wherever I went, the moment I told, see, we all look South Asians to them. The moment I would say I'm from India, all Japanese said 2 things to me, sir. Number 1, Indians very intelligent.
Intelligent.
They said, sir. Secondly, 0. Because India gave 0 to the world. This is the only country where I met at least 25, 30 people who said 0. Initially I said, what 0? Because they were saying, then my friend said, no, India gave 0 to the world. They understood the value of the 0 that we had given. Then I looked back and said, if they are thinking we are intelligent, why are we not looking at ourselves like that? Then I realized that we are a very intelligent race, sir. We are a great race. The reason we are not ruling the world today, I feel personally, is 2 things, sir. Number 1, our tolerance to mediocrity. We tolerate mediocrity. This chalta hai, adjust mat kol rahe. Chalta hai. This chalta hai attitudes. Now, 1, we do mediocrity, or we tolerate others doing mediocrity. And secondly, poor work ethics, sir.
Very poor work.
Very poor. That means you have an appointment at 3 o'clock. They call me at 3:30 and say I'm going to be late, sir. I said, do you even realize what the hell you're going? Sir, when I was a student in Manipal Hospital doing my neurosurgery training, 1990s, if I have to shift a patient on ventilator to the CT scan, for an urgent scan, I would call them the scan and tell them, I am coming down in 17 minutes. Because I know how much time it will take for me to put the patient on the trolley, fix the oxygen, get the ambu bag ready, get the lift ready and take down. And I didn't want to make the patient wait there because he was on ventilator. So I said, I'm coming down in 17 minutes. I want the table free. And I would go down within 17 minutes, finish the scan and go back. Anything happen, because they have to pause their regular cases and those who are waiting, which is also important. We have to have respect for that. Suppose for some reason I could not go, because of something that happened, I'd call them and say, I am not coming now. I'll give you 15 minutes advance notice. They all respected me because of that.
Yes.
Because I have to give value for other people's time. It's not just my time that is important.
Time is not yours.
Yes. So I think if we as Indians, one message I'm giving all our Indians in India, if we can stop tolerating mediocrity, strive for excellence in anything and everything that we do, and have good,
you will be on top.
We'll be on top, sir. We will be undoubtedly on top, sir. And good work ethics, sir. That's all is required, because the inherent intelligence system, everything is there. This is what I personally think.
Absolutely, I agree with you. 100% I agree with you. I tell you, this is what I advocate in the 9th International Conference on Chronic Hypoxia. This I have already written, sent the abstract. This is what I have said. What you said now is what I have already mentioned, that why we are great, why we are excellent, why we are different, because of certain values. These values we have to sustain.
Very true, sir. And every day. It's not when you're in a mood.
It is like 5S principle. When I go to somebody's table, there's a pen stand with 10 pens, half of them don't write.
Correct.
Why are they keeping it?
Correct.
If I want them to give me a stapler, they search here, there, here, there. Why not they close their eyes, put their hand on the right side drawer, put it and give you a stapler? Japanese technique.
I agree, sir.
5 years.
Ask me that. My goodness, those guys are unbelievable.
Time management. I tell you, in my 40 years of service at St. John's, I'm the only fellow I can claim never to go even single day sick leave. Many people came and told me, sir, it's getting waste, it's getting expired. I said, I'm not sick, how can I take?
Correct.
I never got admitted to St. John's Hospital even for one day.
Really? Interesting.
In my 40 years of service.
Amazing, amazing.
Because I am always convinced that why I am not healthy. I am healthy. Maybe small sickness here and there, I could still go to the department, sit there. We have to go beyond what we think we are capable.
Correct. This ayapapatayo now ingene, this is that. I don't think we deserve any of those things.
60 ವರ್ಷ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತು ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಓಡಾಡಬಾರ್ದು. This is
like
mindset.
Age is only a number.
Age is only a number.
I love what you say. Age is only a number. I completely agree with you.
Age is only a number.
I completely. And when we see people like you, we also get very excited.
No, I am not old. I am still young. I tell you why. I can think, I can work, I can motivate. Anybody who can think, work and motivate others is a young person.
Simple.
If I cannot trust myself, I will never trust somebody. First, I should learn how to trust myself. That introspection. Am I taking my balance sheet at the end of the day? What good I did today? What bad I did today? Before going to bed? If every one of us can do that, I tell you, the world is yours.
Absolutely. No, I think so. I think because what you're also saying indirectly is don't be selfish. Don't live for yourself. You should live for the world, make the world a better place.
I tell you, when I go on the last day, my memory with you talking and nothing will come with me. I will return all what I have returned, earn back to the society and go.
Correct, sir.
Otherwise,
you said you don't even take your dream. Something you said, no? You don't take anything back.
Nothing. My memory of talking to you today
correct
will not come with me.
But so many people want to ask this, sir. I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that. 500 crores, 1,000 crores.
That is childhood days. I cannot remain as a child, but I want to be a child. I tell you, to something which is very apt for all of them, all viewers, we have to be full of ananda, joy. Every minute you must enjoy life. There are 6 types of ananda. This morning when I was having breakfast and lunch, I enjoyed that food. I was a Bhogananda. Bhogananda. When I am discussing with you some many things, I became a Gnanananda, learned from you, Gnanananda. When see the farmer working in the field day and night, he's a Karmananda. Karma is, he gets joy out. I get joy by listening to. He gets joy by working. Some people at the end of the day wants to count how much money they have earned on that day. Debit, credit, credit, debit. They are not happy. Credit, they are very happy. They are called Swarnanandas. Wealth. Some people, as you said, sit and meditate all the time, get joy. They are called Yoganandas. When a mother has a small baby on her lap, the small baby smiles at the mother. That's a joy.
Correct.
Otherwise, it will not smile. Mother also smiles at the baby. Joy. What is that joy? Is it Bhogananda, Yogananda, Karmananda, Swarnananda? No. It's Divyananda. Eternal bliss. We all had, you had, I had, she had. We were all having that, we had that bliss, eternal bliss, God's bliss, called Divyananda. Why did it disappear?
Why?
The other Anandas took over.
Oh.
Bhogananda has started.
Material pleasure.
You became foodie. All other Anandas, Karmananda, responsibility, work. Accumulate more and more knowledge, discover that, use this tool, that one, this one, I want to be better than that neurosurgeon. All this has masked that eternal bliss. Now, to go back to that, we all must get back to that. That was the most beautiful time in our life.
Unconditional.
Delete it one by one, other Anandas. It's not easy.
Not easy, sir.
Not easy. So, as much as possible. That's why they say, no, you want to go to Kashi? Leave something which you like most and come back. Badanekai is very favorite to me. Then he goes and tells everybody, I have left Badanekai. Araya, you have not left, you still it's in your mind. Detach it from your mind also. See, that Ananda, we have to get back. We have to sacrifice a lot. If you start looking into yourself, you will never get that. When you look at somebody, no child looks at itself. No child has complained about the heat in summer or the cold in winter.
Correct.
When you were a child, did you ever say it's so hot or so cold?
No, sir.
Never. We should go back to that stage. Appreciating everything around us.
Very interesting. And the child
all this will come if you have a satsang. Like-minded people together. I'm sure all of my viewers today will have a very good satsang, Like-minded people should get together and appreciate each other. That is the greatest thing one can do is appreciate even your enemy. Suppose you had a fight with somebody. You don't want to talk to that person or don't want to see that person. One evening you call that person, say, I am missing you. I'm sorry, I did not talk to you. See the change. That is the life.
But that person may think, you must be having something for me. So
they will understand,
If you are authentic, they will understand, I think.
No. The way you express.
Correct. Exactly.
The way you express, you are authentic. There's no fabrication, no drama. Life is not a drama because it's never enacted. Drama is always enacted. Every day is a fresh.
Very true. Amazing. So give us some more wisdom like this as we end this program. What else do you have to say to our audience? I mean, you have really, I can see the joy, the fulfillment.
No, my thing is very simple. Though it's difficult to do. Please give and don't take. Don't ask. But whenever somebody asks, try to give. If you don't have, borrow somewhere and give. When somebody gives, don't refuse. Accept it. You may be vegetarian. Somebody gives you mutton biryani. Accept it, but give it to somebody who eats that. By accepting what somebody offers is a gratitude to that fellow. If you reject, it's an insult. If you ask, like in Orissa, when Oriyan invites you for lunch or dinner, they serve so much rice, you say, enough. Then, after finishing, you want some more rice. If you ask, he thinks you have insulted him.
Really?
Of course, it's an insult. Oh, I have not served you enough.
Oh, like
Look
that.
at that. That's why, we should not. When somebody is in need, give. What you like best, you give that.
Interesting.
On a day of Bakrid, they kill the goat. The best part of the Bakrid, they give it to somebody. After distributing all, what is left, they keep for themselves. That is there in every culture, every religion. It is, Amma, ba, aita kelsa, idu ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಉಳಿದು ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ ತಗೊಂಡು ಹೋಗು, because I am not going to use. That is not dhana, isn't it? We should give the best what I like to have. One day I went to Sikkim. I had a wonderful sweater, alpaca sweater from Bolivia. This time you will also buy. Beautiful, very. That host came. I said, "What a beautiful sweater, sir! So warm. Where did you get it?" Then immediately I removed and gave it to him. He said, "Why? You liked it, take it. I'm going to Bolivia again and buy one more." See, the joy of giving will never come when you take something from somebody.
Got it.
Life is nothing but giving, not taking. When everybody starts giving, everybody gets it. Nobody is deprived. That's why we have in Sanatana Dharma, in our temples, when they make, rich man makes prasada and brings, everybody gets it. He also gets it.
True.
Anyway, knowledge should be shared. Possession should be shared. It makes the whole community full of joy.
And a better place to live in, I think.
Of course. We are in a very good place to live, but we have not recognized,
Correct. You always see the other fellow's life is better.
I tell
His
you,
thing is
when
better.
I'm traveling by flight, the seat on which I'm sitting is my seat. My seat. As long as I'm on that seat. The sofa is mine now, as long as I'm sitting here. If I develop that attitude, I will not have any possession. Wherever I am, everything is given to me. Isn't it?
And as long as you need it.
As long as you need it.
Correct.
You will never accumulate. You will never.
Interesting.
This is what Abdul Kalam has taught me.
Amazing.
Why do you worry? That car is yours as long as you are traveling by that. You have a chauffeur also. What else you need?
So give us some more, wisdom from Dr. Kalam, sir. You definitely have you spent 15 years with him.
See, I tell you, one day we had to go to Raipur from Delhi. He had retired. I was in Delhi. He called me. Professor, are you free for a day? I said, yeah, I am free. My flight is only for 2 days later. I said, yes, anything interesting. We will go to Raipur. Somebody has invited. Raipur Regional College, they have invited me, engineering college. Can you join me? I said, I would love to come with you. We went by train. He told the secretary to book 2, sleeper. They booked night 10 o'clock. We got into the train. No, morning 10 o'clock we got into the train. Next day morning at 4 o'clock or so, it had to come to Raipur railway station. It was some Shatabdi, some train. And he told me at 12 o'clock, see, 1 hour I will sleep, you keep awake. Afterwards, 1 hour you sleep, I'll keep awake. Because I don't know when that Raipur will come. Because if we sleep, both of us, then we don't know what will happen. We agreed. And we were talking, where is sleep? And every time he used to see whether the station has come. Raipur station came. Then he said, somebody must have come to receive us,
Big man.
Because they have invited. Somebody was there. He saw nobody was there. Come, we'll get down there. They must be waiting outside. Then we got down. We went outside. Nobody was there. Nobody had come. He said, don't worry. It's only 2, 4 o'clock. Why they must be sleeping? They will come anyway. We will have a cup of coffee. We came back to the cabin. That fellow said, no coffee, only chai. Okay, chai. We had chai. We came out. Nobody had come. Then he said, what to do? That we have to go to some place to wash and ablutions and all that. Then he called that Tanga fellow. One fellow was there. He came. He said, circuit house. Because Abdul Kalam, he never disclosed what he was. He never told anybody that he wanted special attention. Then we went to circuit house. That fellow, Tanga fellow, took round and round and round. Then he took us to circuit house. Circuit house, nobody was there. He said, Chokidar will be at the backside, caretaker. I went and knocked on the door. That fellow came with not very happy because morning I disturbed him. It was around 5:30. Kalam said, thoda mood wana hai. Because we have come from there. He said, no, permission lena hai. Kidhar se? PW se. Then he said, okay, he is following his rules, we will not disturb him. We came back. Then we turned back seeing that railway station only. Railway station there only. That Tonga
This
fellow
one is gone.
Then what to do? Sir, what to do now? Do one thing. Around 6:30 too early, we will call my secretary and find out who is the person who has invented. Even that he did not. Look at this. He's such a simple. Then around 6:30 or 7 we called. That fellow gave the number. And we called this fellow. He says, sir, you should have come tomorrow. You have come today. It was before he became president. He was a Raksha Mantri only before that. He was like any other scientist. Then they came and took us. One day we stayed. We went to some places. And next day we attended the function. This is the man. A man of simplicity. Man of down to earth. I tell you, it is very easy to become a rich man, man with ego, man with power, but not a man of that simplicity. That's a challenge.
True. And that much of achievements.
In Chennai, we were in Anna University guest house. I was also there as a selection committee somewhere I went. He said, he came to my room, knocked and he said, Professor, are you ready? Shall we go for a breakfast? I said, I thought breakfast there only. This breakfast is not good. We'll go to that, what is that? Murugan Idli shop. And we went to Murugan Idli shop. It's about 1.5 kilometers. We walked also. We went to Murugan Idli shop. He has an umbrella in his hand. We went to Murugan Idli shop. We had idli. Then the fellow came with the bill. He is pushing that bill to me. I did not carry any purse. He has also had not carried any purse.
Sure,
we had no money.
Ramachandra.
Then don't worry, we'll go and tell him that we'll keep umbrella here. We'll go and send him money. That fellow said, sir, are you a scientist? Yes. No problem, sir. You can go. This is something. Like that, many instances.
Oh, Rama. Amazing.
This is the man. This is the man.
Who was the former president of this country.
Man who carried, along with Dhawan, the rocket to launch on a cycle.
Correct.
You must have seen that picture.
Yes. Amazing.
Another instance in Bhubaneswar. We went for a program at Multidisciplinary Center on Safety, Health, Environment. MDC and SHE, Multidisciplinary Center. He was the chief guest. I was a keynote speaker. We attended that day. Next day we were free. He said, Professor, if you are free, if you can, we will go to Konark temple. He liked the temple. I said, okay. We hired a taxi. He said, don't tell them, they will send their car. We should not take, we'll hire a taxi. Took a taxi. On the way, there's a place called Pipli, where they make lots of stone carvers are there. And he said, Prabha likes Ganesha idol. My wife collects Ganesha. He remembered. He remembered. I said, yes, come, stop. We will go and see. We went there. Lot of Ganeshas were there. Same size. It was put 999 rupees. Not 100, not 1000, like American, 999. Then fellow old man was carving. He was sitting with the glasses. Then, kitne ka hai? Likha hai. Then I picked up one, first one. I said, ye de do. Ye bechne ka nahi hai. Not for sale. Kyo idhar rakhe ho? I was a little upset. He was never upset. He never made any comment. Abdul Kalam. I said, mujhe ye chahiye. Sorry, sir. I said, I will give you 1,000 rupees, 1 rupee more. He said, no, sir. 1,500, no, sir. Up to 2,500 rupees, no, sir. Nahi hoga, sahab. Then I said, kyo? Isme defect hai. He said, he is carving, skilled worker.
Amazing.
And then he said, the moment he said, defect hai, then I said, I will give you 500. Sir, even if you want free, I will not give you. I said, I can't make any defect. Sir, you may not make. Somebody will make. They will ask from where you got. Then you will quote me. What will be my... Sir, I am a skilled worker. Abdul Kalam told me, you know what is skill, Professor? Skill is competence plus virtuousness in the heart, righteousness in the heart, and also courage to speak out truth. How many of us have?
Very true, sir.
Isn't it?
Very true.
See, these are all the words of wisdom from him.
Amazing.
Like this, there are many
so
things.
No, but I think it's amazing, sir. I think we have to put an end to this chat because I think it was so amazing.
Too much.
But I think it was a fantastic chat, sir. I think all our viewers.
I don't
hope all of you.
I don't speak from my mouth, whatever my heart feels. feels I
I agree, but I think, sir, we learned so much about lead and other toxins. We learned about quality. We learned about brain at high altitude.
and prophylactic diamox.
Prophylactic diamox.
Yeah, you're
and so
going
on.
now. You
Yes,
have to
yes,
get
yeah, we're going all of that. So, viewers, before we wind up, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like this video, press the bell icon, share not just this video, all the videos, because each video is a class by itself. That's a promise from my side. Please don't forget that. And also remember, we have written a book called Rebooting the Brain. It's available on Amazon. It was an Amazon bestseller. It's right behind me. Please make sure you buy either a Kindle copy or a hard copy of that. We have Rebooting the Brain documentary on the same channel. Please make sure you see it. But that is what it is from us. So let me thank our Professor Dr. Thuppil Venkatesh.
between like-minded people.
Hmm.
No thanks.
No thanks.
No excuses.
Perfect. So then I'll give you a namaste.
Pranam.
Pranam, pranam. And that's all from us. Jai Hind.
Hey, what is this all about here?
This is a book we have written, Rebooting the Brain. We give it to all our guests. We'd love you to read it.
Where is the second part?
It's in here.
Okay.
It's still, yeah, it has to come.
The journey of hope.
Yeah, we have 4 parts probably will come out, sir.
Next is what journey of?
Sir, I'm thinking of writing a book on neurojustice, the medical legal compensation for accident victims. That's one of our things that.
All the
Yeah, yes.
Is it global information?
No, only for India specific.
India.
India specific. From the judicial perspective, that's what it is.